Okay. Let's see if that works. I've got audio from the intro, so let me see what I sound like today. Probably not that great, but we'll see. I hear something. Let's see if that works. Okay. I've got audio from the intro. I think we have sound and everything is finally good. I ran into a little bit of a technical issue this morning. Well, first of all, as you may know from my videos, I've been extremely busy lately. So I have not had time to do anything at home. I think even my cats were mad at me because I haven't been spending time with them. I've got a friend that's trying to get his apartment over there ready. You know, the person that lived there before had mental issues and destroyed it. So we've been trying to correct all kinds of problems, plus all kinds of rigs, and we've been working there every day for the last few days. It's also been extremely hot. It's always over 93 degrees, and the feels like temperatures like somewhere between 105 and 110. The humidity and the heat here are absolutely horrible. So, and I've been working anywhere from in the morning to 8 or 10 o'clock at night. I've been going to bed late. Last night I actually got back home by 8, but still it's a challenge. And then last night it poured down rain. It hadn't rained here for like a week. And of course I had to go back in the shop and check to see if any of my tools were getting wet from the leaky roof, but thankfully the roof did not leak. And the part that is unrepairable does have that big plastic tray to catch all the water. So nothing got damaged. But it's like anything else. I woke up this morning, and as soon as the technology turned on at 7 o'clock, the phone started ringing. And I've got customers, everyone has a problem. So I told them I had to give them priority. I'm like, look, I don't have the time. I just can't keep up. So, and of course, we're having our live today, which is a weekly thing. I go to start my system, and I'm talking to myself, basically. And then I realize that my assistant, come here, Mr. Buddy, come on. My assistant disconnected my Ethernet cable. Come on. There we go. There's my gorgeous assistant. Here we go. Hello, sweetheart. You are a little menace. Look at how cute you are. Look at that face. Always a gorgeous pet. I love you so much. Okay, there you go. So anyway, it's been interesting. Let's put it that way. So what I'm going to do, I am going to switch to the better camera. Okay, and that is also off. Okay, so we'll put this here. And now you can see how bad I look. And I never even had a chance to take this crappy towel out of here. Right, Mr. Milton? As you probably see, this is my assistant. He's a good kitty. All right. So let's see what we have in terms of comments. And hopefully, if everything goes well, obviously, when you come to my live stream, you're not coming for the highly refined YouTube experience where there's a team of people working in the background to make everything just perfect. All you do is get a total disaster who lives in the modern day Sanford and Son house. And we have, looks like 43 people watching right now, so that is really good. And again, it's amazing that a small channel like mine can get so many good viewers. So let's see who we have. And I'm sure that we have, as usual, the finest of the best. And very first, speaking of finest of the best, is, oops, okay. Why do I not have, oh, it helps if I click the right link. I am just overwhelmed. There we go. Okay. I'm sorry about that. No, Milton, don't climb on the... No, Milton, get off the keyboard. Come on. Oh, my goodness. All right. So we have our first comment, and we have the medal there too, and that is from Jonathan, our friend at Carnivore Muscle. And as usual, the first, and by the way, as you know, Jonathan was also the first to interview me in a live chat. So again, glad to have you drop in. Although I think you are away for something, which we'll see the comment on that. Lady June says good morning, and Wendy also says hello. And JJJ24, I don't recognize you. Maybe you're new, or maybe you changed your name, but good morning from Poland, and that is good morning. We have a couple of people in the carnivore community who have a Polish history, and one of them, which I haven't seen lately, is Mike or Michael, and he is a serious carnivore who continues on the journey. And there is Mike Seeley Jr. Greetings from Tampa Bay and greetings from Rick's Place. And while you were waiting, you could have watched our friend Dan. And that is really, really a good thing. And I have so many comments, so we have to shift this into overdrive and make these comments happen. All right. And there is Mike Seeley Sr., who says, hello, everyone, from a beautiful morning in Melbourne, Florida. And as you know, he is not that far away from our friend Mitch, the old guy carnivore, and they usually hang out once during the week. So I hope you had a good time together and had some fun and smoked a cigar or two and enjoyed your time, because our time is limited. Every bit of time that we have is in short supply. There is nothing we can do to regain the time that we have lost. And Brian Dish, as usual, good morning, Rick and all quackers. Well, good morning. Linda McDaniel, 63, good morning. Good morning. And speaking of YouTube celebrities, there's Liz, Black Box Warning TV. Hey, everyone. Well, hey, I'm glad you're here. And I was getting a good laugh out of that last edited video that you did with me as Rick from Earth. And if you haven't seen that, you should check it out. And if you're not subscribed to her channel, what's wrong with you? Did Milton rip your lips off? Okay. And we have some good mornings to each other. And there's Terry Girl. Good morning to Rick. And good morning from Rick to Terry Girl. And there's Robbie Autry. And you may be probably the first. You're good at being the first. Although, let me see how the time here. I can't really tell. 7 a.m. Yeah, doesn't matter. I guess you are 8 feet. Okay. So you must be the first at 8. Good morning, Rick, Milton, Miss Kitty, and all the rest of you quackers. And you beat me because I was struggling with tech issues. And as you know, my computer is connected by Ethernet. It is not Wi-Fi. So once the Ethernet cable is unplugged, you can't go online. Now, I haven't used OBS in several weeks because I've been sort of co-streaming with Jonathan. But I didn't think, let me see if OBS had actually connected to YouTube, and it didn't. So I'm here talking to myself. I'm thinking, I'm clicking on the comments, and the comments are not moving. And then I'm struggling, trying to figure out why this isn't working and why that isn't working. And I realize, wait a minute, do I even have internet? And that's what happened. And good Saturday morning from a smoothie of 420. And Rick of Earth, let's get dangerous. Yes, you'll see that a lot with our friend Dustin, Keto Simple, who says that as well, because that was what Darkwing Duck said. And I am so far behind in comments, I feel like a celebrity now. Isabel Goyer, good morning, everyone. Well, good morning from Rick and Bride's Biscuit. Good morning. Hey, I didn't see you last week, but maybe I missed you. And there's our celebrity. There's Dustin, Keto Simple. Quack, quack, says the Rick. Good morning, friends, and good morning. And we have all the good mornings going on, and we have a hello. And I have my phone ringing. Oh, no. I'm not going to answer it. No. I got stuff I got to deal with. Milton, yes. Yes, Milton must have pulled out all the wires, and he did. You see, Mitch knows. He's a tech guy. He knows what can happen. But the good thing is I figured it out. And this phone will not stop ringing. I told people, don't bother me. Oh, well. Where else can you hear an actual ringer? Saturday in the park. Yep, I remember that. How's the weather in NSW? And we have some hellos and more hellos to Dustin. And speaking of carnivore personalities. It's Pretzel Pete himself. Good morning, Quackers. Good morning. Hey, hey, Mr. Biscuit, John Mitch, and everyone else. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. Oh, wow. Will I ever catch up? Maybe not. How did I get so many comments all at once? Okay. All right, there we go. Hey, hey, Pete. And I'm a few minutes late. Well, you and me both. Cleaning the garage this morning. Not like Rick, not to be prompt. That is correct. And we're asking Mitch if he's smoking a cigar. Have a cigar on me. Remember that Pete Puma? I got a little rabbit and it went down in the hole and I'm going to catch him and I'm going to eat him up. Have a cigar on me. And then you look at the cigar and it says El Explodo. And then Bugs Bunny puts it in his pocket. And then then when he goes, oh, don't leave. Have a top of tea, you know. Oh, tea? I don't like no tea. It gives me a headache. Coffee. How many lumps do you want? Ooh, 3 or 4. He pounds him on the head, you know, or, oh, give me a lot of lumps. That's what he's doing. I watched too much Looney Tunes as a kid. Yeah, either Milton cut the wires or Rick has finally has massive heart attack. Well, if that phone keeps ringing, I think I'm going to give somebody else a heart attack when I take the phone cord and I wrap it around their neck and I hit them over the head with this is plastic, but if you get one of those Bakelite handsets, you could beat somebody senseless with that silly thing. Yay to Fighting the Kittens. Well, they just showed up, so that's fine. Milton ran off with the microphone. Rick found the kittens. Yes, I did find the kittens, although I don't know where they were, but when I came home from working, they were here. Rick is on Dan's channel, yes. And there is Christy, Meeting Wellness. Well, hello, friends. Hello. Glad you are here, as always. Peter, they showed up. Rick is on Dan's channel. No, I just said there Rick was hosting on Dan's channel. Haven't seen him since 747. Yeah. That was Mr. Milton, and I was maybe the alias back there playing. And there's Barry Simon, the king of the AI memes. And EFD, that's right, eat fatty duck. And you got to fatten the duck up just right. I got 9 ducks that I'm fattening up, but I haven't even put anybody in the executive suite yet. My truck is still broken. I can't do anything here until we finish the jobs that I'm doing, if I ever get to do that. One of the reasons I get very little done is because I'm always working, and I don't make a lot of money, but at least I make enough to eat. Okay. I've been watching. Turns out tooth and caffeinated drink is good. Well, Mitch, it does swear by his coffee, and so do a lot of people. A lot of people in the carnivore community are coffee drinkers. And as I say all the time, I don't know anybody that's been hurt by coffee. So if it doesn't make you instantly sick and you can drink it just fine, go for it. Life's short. Why are you going to say, oh, I love coffee, but I'm not going to drink it because it's bad for me? Well, I know a lot of people that lived quite old age. It's like Mitch always says, you have the Greasy Spoon diner where you'll see people drinking coffee every morning, and farmers in their 80s or 90s, and they're still working. Glad to hear Sandy on the Clintons have disappeared. Yeah, I don't know whatever happened to them, but maybe one day we'll figure it out. I have so much trouble with my mouse. I think Milton, he used it as a cat toy, and I think he damaged the micro switch because I keep clicking this stupid thing, and it's just not working. So I'll get it. I'll get through here, and if that phone keeps ringing, I'm gonna shut that down. I have a switch. I can push the button, and it'll shut the whole phone system off. Someone can just be, yeah, okay. I know Peter, and there is Jonathan. Hey. What's going on? I'm back. Was cleaning to garage this morning. Yep. My favorite little kid is Garfield. He's so cute. Yeah, he is. Very nice. I got to feed the kittens again, but I gotta get more meat and stuff for the kittens. I got some cat food. Our friend Jerry had sent me cat food, and that's good. But I still have some canned cat food that I got. Yeah, Miss Kitty is so sweet, Johnny. Yeah, she's fine. She'll be good with Milton, and Milton's good with the kittens, I think. Kitties are home and safe. Yes, although the ducks, they came this morning looking for cat food, but the cats had already eaten the cat food, and I gave them some duck food. And then I was going, somebody's getting plump. The ducks all ran away. So they probably know what's coming. But it's only a matter of time. We get too many ducks around here. I take care of the duck. Okay, sounds good. So I'm way behind. Hi, Rick and all the quackers from Chuck, Egg Clearwater. And the sound is great. So we're doing good. And Rexford, 1128 is here. Good morning, Rick. Well, good morning. Glad you are here. Let's see. Frank Calabrese. I've seen you had several comments that were deleted, but technical difficulties is a big part of the show. Yes, it is. And the kittens are back. I told you Milton was mischievous this morning. Yes, you were right, as you usually are, Mitch. Rick needs an assistant. I have one, but my assistant is about as good as Yellow Ted from, what's his name? I'm having a moment. Barquet. Good morning, Rick and all the carnivores from Larry Ryan. Well, good morning. And you're getting a command from Sandy to go to the pool. Well, Mitch has that scooter now, so he can go to the pool without having to worry about walking in some really, really hot temperatures. And the thing is, I feel better. You know, think about it. If you have to drive there, you got to burn gas or whatever, and you got to find a place to park. So Mitch got himself an EV. And you know EVs are environmentally friendly. And what better EV than a mobility scooter? Now, people might make fun of that, but there's actually a guy, I think he calls his name Colin Furs. He turned a mobility scooter into some kind of hot rod. So it's, what, you're not happy with Milton's work? Yeah, that is very true. Okay. And Mitch officially says hi to everybody and hello. I am happy that you have dropped in early. And by the way, you'll notice that Mitch is doing what I used to do. He plays sort of a musical montage with different scenes and funny memes. So he's taken it and elevated it to an even higher level for those of you that were used to getting up at 6 to watch Dr. Kiltz. So now Mitch has graciously filled that space with something you can do while you're working or while you're getting ready for work or whatever. So hats off to Mitch for doing something awesome like he always does. And that's great. When the system doesn't work, always ask Milton, what did you do this time? Yeah, that is very true. But I didn't even know the system wasn't working. This is the problem. So we have good mornings and hellos to Mitch. And yes, always Milton. And the thing is, good day, Rick, from down under, currently 5 degrees Celsius. Well, lucky you. It would be like, 30 degrees Celsius? It's 90 to 100 here. It's crazy. But the thing is, I have not been at my house except late at night. My room was even worse of a mess than ever. I had to get up this morning. I had to pick up tools and parts. I had an exhaust fan. I had electrical components. I had stuff scattered all over my living room. I could barely walk to sit down here. I had nuts and bolts and everything, which I picked up. I put that away. I got up this morning at 6:30. I worked at least 40 minutes just trying to make the room where it was halfway decent. And I still ran into technical issues because when I moved this stuff around, I didn't realize that the Ethernet connector was unplugged from the back of the computer. So thank you, Mr. Milton. And Old Guy Carnivore says hi to everybody. And good morning to Larry. We have hellos to Mitch. Oh, first time here. Okay. Well, hopefully it won't be your last. I have a feeling I scare a lot of people away. But hey, if you're here, you picked a good channel. One of the great things about my channel is that I will interact with you, or some of the bigger channels will not. I know a lot of people, they love Dr. Barry, but he does not have the time, or in my opinion, the interest to interact with every single person. Everyone that comes to my live stream is somebody that's either here regularly or somebody that I know. So when we get somebody new in here, then that improves things even more. And you're getting a welcome already from Christy and a welcome from Pond Apple. And that's it. Jonathan, one of my coworkers, young guy, 24, in bodybuilding. He's cutting weight, fat for competition in September. He's 5% body fat. He says he's super tired, no energy. Well, obviously, Jonathan is a good person to ask about that because he is one of the few, and I mean very few, carnivore bodybuilders that are out there. And Cordelia in Albany says, good morning from Albany, New York. And it's afternoon here in Europe. And we have a hello, okay. We got a laugh from Liz. And welcome for JJ from Chuck. And at Meeting Wellness. Looking forward to meeting your interview. Okay. So I guess Christy's going to interview Dr. Barry. Well, maybe I will have to stop putting down Dr. Barry because I hate to say it, but my opinion of Dr. Barry keeps doing this because he's so out of touch. Once people become out of touch, then I ignore them. I forget about them. You don't see me looking at their channel because I don't have the time. My time is valuable. I have customers I have to deal with, and I have people that appreciate communicating with me, people that know who I am, and I will always gravitate towards the people who give me at least some kind of attention or some kind of interaction. If you don't interact with Rick, Rick forgets about you. I think that's true of everybody. From Karen Field, Rick, your show with Liz again was terrific. Good afternoon from England. Well, it's easy to be terrific when you have somebody else that's terrific. She's really good at what she does on the internet, and she always gets with the best people. And I think she's also, is it Steven that's with her? Somebody is with her maybe in half an hour or something like that, but I can't keep up with all of the live streams. I do my best, but there's only so much that this guy can do. And the comments are really ramping ahead. So there's Joe. Hey, Rick and Milton. Hi, everyone. Good to have you here. And if you don't know who she is, check out Jonathan's channel. Okay, yes, we are the Wonder Twins. That's right. Good morning, Rick. Daddy, thrilled the babies are back. Yes, my kittens have come back. And good morning to beautiful Joe. And by the way, I never knew that she was 50. So, hey, that's a good thing. Yes, Boston meetup. And I believe that is Barry Simon's meetup. So if you're in the area, check it out. Don't miss it. I'm just waiting for the ringing rotary phone bit. That's one of the favorite. Well, it came. It's always here. And the phone did quiet down. I'm not going to even think about the phone until I catch up with these comments. I may even pull the blind shut so nobody knows that I'm here because people have a tendency to pop in when they can't get me. So let's see if we can do that. All the good non-quackers are here. All right. The rotary phone really takes me back. Yes. And as if you don't know, the rotary phone is still here. And there it is. And if I pick up the number, you can see that it does light up. I can even put somebody on hold if I want to. Okay, I can do that. And then if I want to pick it up, I just do this, pick it up, and that's it. So this is almost like an old-time, small-town radio station. And we have Good Morning Mason and Good Morning Peter. And you're getting lots of meetup. Why Quackers? What is the story behind this name? Well, if you've seen all my interviews, going back to my first one in 2022 about the carnivore lifestyle, I've always been a big fan of catching and cooking the local canal ducks that everybody considers to be invasive pests. So Muscovy duck is my favorite meat. So that's why I use the duck theme. You'll always see ducks. Because the other thing is I call every non-carnivore food that's based on seed stems, roots, and leaves to be duck food. So if it's not carnivore food or human food, it's duck food. And that's one of the reasons why I use the term quackers and duck and all that. I'm also the heart attack guy. Good morning from Bacon Runner. Good morning. Rick is in high demand. He is the best Mr. Fix-It, and his friends and clients know that. He also keeps his prices very low and affordable, unlike others who charge a lot of money. Yes, Peter knows that. And by the way, don't let Peter fool you. He doesn't eat pretzels. He's really tall, and he's really smart. So this is something that I learned because I met him in person. We actually rode all the way up to Melbourne from Boca, and then he took me all the way back home. So Peter is the only one in the carnivore community who has ever seen my home. Interesting. And there's Manda. Good Saturday morning, Rick, Milton, everyone. Well, great. I'm glad you're here. And again, this is an excellent community, and I'm not even close to catching up with the comments. All right, I can't watch some myths. Yeah, me too. And I've been falling behind on, there's retired Rick. Good morning. Let's see. All right. And there's Kelly, Missouri Carnivore. Good morning to Brian. There we are. And, did I miss? What is going on here? I have got to replace this mouse. I skipped ahead on all these comments. Your imitation of Pete Puma is freaking perfect. Yes, it is. When you watch as much Looney Tunes as I did, it gets pretty good. And it's good to know that somebody else remembers who Pete Puma is. Good morning and hello to you at Meeting Wellness. And we have a good morning, and I just saw you last night. And there's the official good morning from retired Rick Carnivore. We have a hand and 3 cups of coffee. Good morning. And good morning from Coach Angela Mullins. Good morning. Good to see you. And, you know, you pop up Kiltz's live stream, and hey, that's always a good thing. Yes, Mason, it wasn't a big night. Not so fun. Maybe lots of fun. Not so fun, maybe. And there's Carnivore Karen P. Good morning from Central Florida. Well, good morning, and good morning from the Miami area. The only carnivore on YouTube from Miami is right here. So we have some hellos. And I came back to chat about Rick's rotary phone. There you go, from Joe. And Coach Angela Mornings. Hi and good morning, retired Rick. Okay, so let's see. We're getting there. Little by little, we'll get there. I love the ringing rotary phone comedy bit and also the technical difficulties bit. Except it's not a bit. It just kind of happens. Okay, and now my mouse is acting funny again. What is going on? Oh, all right. Hold on. Okay, now it's stuck. Ah, come on. Oh, there we go. All right. And good morning from Edward Renner. Good morning, Rick and everybody. Good morning. And wishing Jonathan Carnivore Muscle well this weekend. He's been preparing for his bodybuilding competition in the worst heat wave the UK has experienced since 1976. Sounds like Florida weather. And good morning to there. And they don't have air conditioning like we do. My air conditioner is life support. That's why I'm constantly fixing these things. Oh. Jerry is sick with flu or something. Well, that's not good. It was going around. Rick was right. I was researching about rice diet during World War I in Japan. People die from heart attack after 2 weeks of doing rice only. See? But I got the heart attack diet wrong. I thought that it was from eating fatty meat. And Kelly, Missouri Carnivore. Good morning, Rick and everyone. Well, good morning. Okay. Come on. We'll get you. We'll get you one of these days. I don't know what is going on here. Oh, wow. Getting ready for my walk before in the heat today. Yeah. Well, you were in there with Dan, so I guess you have completed your interview. All right. And let's see. Good morning, Elisha. And hello. It won't show in the chat. Is it on your channel? I didn't see it, but maybe. Okay. Nice interview with Danivore. Yes. We love Dan and Lance. We watch Lance Goes Live at least twice a week. Dan, he likes to do his show before mine. He even said that he tries to do it before Rick comes on because then all his viewers go away. Mitch is improving his show and is extended from 1 to 2 hours with his excellent idea of a pre-show with terrific music, videos, photos, and super funny memes. Yes, that is correct. It's on my channel about page. Okay. Dan is such a great guy. I love talking with him. Yes. Isn't he? You know, and I think it was Lewis that was lucky enough to go on a dinner date with him. So that's even better. And Kelly saying hi to Lance and Peter. And we have another welcome to our new viewer. I've listened to recorded lives and liked it a lot. Well, you know what? You're in the right place. If you want to be in a community of great live streamers, there's nobody better than the carnivore community, because the carnivore community is full of people that have improved their lives and often the lives of others. Yeah, I saw something on the news about historic flooding. Hopefully he is not being affected by it. Rick is fun. I try to be. Wow, you're interviewing Dr. Barry. It's great. Isn't that a surprise? Dr. Barry, the mysterious carnivore celebrity that nobody can reach. Well, let's see. Let's see if Christy can bring back interest from Rick in Dr. Barry. Rick is also a knowledgeable and very active person. He hates slow people, though, with some of his videos getting mad about people being slow. Yeah, if you've seen me driving, I don't like being around people that act like zombies. It drives me crazy. Dr. Barry's extremely busy doing research and keeping on current research. Someone's got to do it. Yeah, that's true. He doesn't have the time for us. So you know what? I tell everybody, let Barry and the celebrities do their thing. We're going to do our thing, and we will be there to assist. We're not enemies. We're just on different paths. I got to get back to my walking routine on my days off. I've been lazy. Well, Peter, that's up to you. I like your approach, Rick. I cannot listen to all those big carnivore channels anymore. Too much marketing. Well, when you're on my channel, you're not going to get any marketing unless I find a way to manufacture rotary phones, in which case you may see, oh, okay. Try Rick's new rotary phone. Rebuilt to be just like it was back in the 60s. You might catch Rick's ceiling tiles. I don't know. So we have a hi to retired Rick, and there's Ivy Winnett. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to see you again, as always. No, I believe in southern Missouri. I live in the northern part of the state. Okay. And there's Liz comment. Just sent it. Okay. I was thinking about the flash flood. The last time I was near a stored flood was 1993. I remember that. I was actually up in Iowa visiting a friend that year, and then after I left, they had a flood. And here's another Brian Airy is saying hello. And we have Amy. Hi, Rick and friends. There we go. And we have another compliment about the interview. Ozark Swamp here is doing good, not more than a foot yet. Well, hopefully you don't get flooded out. All right. And there is our friend, John Laspina, Carnivore Teacher Alpha, duck food. Yes, I am the person that invented the term duck food. I also created the heart attack diet. So people always talk about PhD diet, and they associate that with Dr. Berry. But there's the HAD diet, which is a heart attack diet. That's Rick's diet. And if it's not carnivore, what do I call it? Duck food. What is duck food? Anything made from raw leaves, roots, stems, or seeds. Any of those things is duck food. Fruits are not necessarily duck food. Fruit in season is acceptable for most people, but it is not carnivore. But human beings physically are not 100% carnivore. We could survive on a lot of things. So, and again, duck food is for the ducks. Human food is for humans. All right? And even if you believe that is plant-based and like Garden of Eden or whatever, they don't talk about eating roots, leaves, stems, or seeds. They talk about fruit. So, whatever. I hope Rick will have with Brian Johnson or Paul Saladino doing the heart attack diet. I get too scared. Those celebrity personalities want absolutely nothing to do with me. I am kryptonite for any carnivore celebrity. They will always avoid me because I'm like the knife that cuts through the BS. Good morning to Amy, and hello to Christy. Hello to Amy. Morning to John and Brian and Peter. Pretzel eater. Well, attempted pretzel eater. And we have a morning to Peter, and good morning. He eats pretzels. He tries to eat pretzels. It didn't work out. And let's see. And there he is. There's my dude, Rick. Well, there's Dan. And again, he usually has his interviews before mine. So if you get up at 7 and you want something to do, I used to play the sort of musical pictures and all that. I don't do that anymore because I tell people, hey, go to your channel. So that way you have something to do. You have somebody you can interact with. Dan is one of the, I would say, the carnivore. I have terms for different types of carnivores. You know, you have the people that lose weight. You have the bodybuilders. It's one of those that's really had the carnivore turnaround, I guess you'd call it. I will be back live tomorrow, 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern. So Kelly will be returning to Sunday. Hopefully I'll be here. If not, I'll get it on the next week. And the comments have gone way ahead of me. Rick was excellent at that interpretation of Puma for sure. Yes. I watched too many cartoons as a kid. Rick's house is amazing. It's a combination of 1950s general store, very organized, stockroom, junkyard, and beautiful tropical jungle. I've never seen anything like it. Well, only Peter has seen my home. Let's support Rick and hit that like. Yes, I agree with that. And we have from Linda Flanagan. Good morning, Rick and Milton. Good morning. And we have a good morning back from Linda. Terry, good morning. And wisdom of Rick. The only time Rick was ever wrong was when he thought he had made a mistake. Well, there you go. Okay. I'm glad that I have some friends that actually seem to like the way I do things. Okay, down got the thanks. All right. Rick, are you using the new keyboard you just bought? No, I'm not using that. That's actually for the other computer, which is not on. But I did get this wireless keyboard so that I don't get tangled up when I use the other computer, because Milton got tangled up in the cord and ended up ripping it out of the USB slot, and I was concerned that Milton may get hurt. So I don't want Milton to strangle himself in any cords. So I went ahead and got that, and it comes with a wireless mouse. It was like $15, and I did that. Yes, it was a good interview. All right, and there we go. Great interview with Dan. Yes, and I hope anyone that drops in and sees my chat will notice that I link to other chats. Happy Saturday, Rick, from Corgi Lover. Well, Kevin, thank you. I think your name's Kevin. I could be wrong. But yes, happy Saturday, and it's going to be a busy one. Once I get done with this, I got to go back to working on this apartment project. So let's see, and we have some more good mornings here. And that's Amy. Wisdom of Rick. Rick invented airplanes because he was tired of being the only person who could fly. Okay. I mean, usually if I have to fly, I got to strap ducks to me, but that's okay. Polish communities of carnivore are more closed, and there are no live streams. Oh, well, that's interesting. I think a lot of times people just don't want to share that information because they don't want to draw attention to themselves and be a target. Liz has the perfect personality interviews. She's kind of a Mel Robbins vibe. I'm not sure who that is, but I'll have to look that up. Rick used to beat the crap out of his shadow because it was falling too close behind him. And now tells back a safe 30 feet. Well, there you go. That's funny. Dan's got some good jokes up, and now my mouse is stuck again. What happens when your cat plays with a mouse? Rick is talking fast. Yes, I'm going to catch up with this. And there's Carnivore Wayne. Good morning to me. Well, good morning to you. Sprints and weighted walks for me. Sometimes biking. Yeah, I do a lot of biking, although not much lately. We have hello from Amanda to Peter, and hello to a Mason. And now the mouse is acting up again. Oh, I hate this thing, but I'm getting closer. Wisdom of Rick. Before he forgot a gift for Rick, Santa Claus was real. There you go. I don't have a chimney, so I guess that's what happens when you live in Florida. I much prefer coming to smaller channels like Rick's, Mitchell, Dr. Kiltz, Liz, Amy, Thomas, Grandma Barbers instead of Dr. Barry Chafee. Yeah, exactly. I try to catch Chafee's videos when I can because he knows who I am, but Dr. Barry don't know who I am. So why would I waste my time? My time is valuable. I don't have time to watch the channel of somebody who doesn't know who I am. Why would I do that? If you don't know who I am, then, and I comment on your videos a few times and you don't respond, I forget about you. You're gone. It's like you don't exist. Hey, Amanda. There we are. So true. Good morning to Mitch. And we have a Steadfast 420, Steadfast 20-426. Good morning to Rick and Chat. Well, good morning. Rick also invented the vulture diet. For those who are new, yes, I did. I am the original carnivore vulture guy. And, okay, I'm glad that I found, oh, glad that I helped you. Well, that's good. Peter's over there. Wisdom of Rick. Rick can unscramble an egg. I wish I could. Have a great show, Rick. Thanks, Mitch, for dropping in, and I bet you'll be working on another video. Because when Mitch leaves my live stream, he's over there making something happen with video editing. I've got to go finish editing my scooter adventure so I can post it today. See, I knew that was happening, and I hope I'll be here to watch it. Otherwise, I'll watch it when I can. So great for dropping in, Mitch, and I will see your video, or I guess tomorrow at 10 if I'm here, which I should be, then I'll drop in. And we have a hello to Mitch and a goodbye to Mitch. Dr. Baron Chafee credited with turning most to carnivore if you watch Dave Mack. That's probably true. Nobody ever credits me for starting them on the carnivore diet. I tell people that if they would have seen me as their first carnivore video, they would go vegan. Wisdom of Rick. Rick had to stop washing his clothes in the ocean. Too many tsunamis. Okay. I still have all the nerve pain in my leg. All right, so let's see here. Okay. Good morning to Jonathan. And we have Tammy Ficharch. Good morning, Rick, Milton, Kitties, and Yo Quackers. And I say good morning as well. That's why I'm having to talk about Barry. He's how I discovered this way of eating. And so did a lot of people. Did your parents have that front yard jungle? No. I maintained a lawn for them. I had a standard yard. I have to show you a picture from Google Earth of what it used to look like. But once Mom died, I went back to Rick style, because everywhere I live, I always have a yard jungle. Let's see. Okay. I think we're going to have a lot of viewers in the chat on this show very soon. Rick's show is unique, different, offbeat, and just plain wonderful. Well, thank you, Mr. Papa Carnivore Peter, Pretzel Pete, or whatever else they want to call you today. I hope so. But if I get one viewer, I'm still going to do the live stream, even if my only viewer is Milton. And Milton has, I think, gone to the bed to fall asleep. And Dan agrees. Love you, Carnivore Muscle. Stay cool, big man. Yes, I think a lot of us do. Hope you got a great start to the weekend. Hey, Mason, good day. Love you too. All right. So I saw Rick on Nia's channel about 2 years ago. Yes, and he's going to describe what he thought about me. Peter says, I thought he was crazy, but after getting to know him and being live panels on Nia's channel, found that he is a great guy and very wise too. Yes. And see, the thing is, I don't try to make myself appealing to anybody because it screens out all the fakes. The only people that will interact with me are the real people. So if you see somebody on my channel week after week interacting with me, that says a lot about their character. It's actually sort of a screening technique. If you try to impress people and then you try to put out your best and maybe you give gifts or whatever, or you try to get people to like you, everybody's going to like you. But if you give them the raw, basic person that you are, they're either going to like you or hate you, and that's it. You got this, brother. Yes, that is correct. Oh, come on. I'll catch up eventually. He must not like fishing. Okay. All right. I'm currently in Cardiff, Wales. Lots of weird spellings on signs. Yeah. Okay. All right. Why? See, I hate when it does this. The mouse is all messed up. It's got to be a micro switch. So Many Lives of Bart and Steven. I like them, but sometimes they are depressing. Well, that's true. Some of these can go on for a long time. There's also a little bit of, sort of a dead spot, and then you get too serious, whatever. But everybody's different. Today's vocabulary word, carry on, aka nature's leftovers and vultures call brunch. That is correct. It's like Rick getting the dumpster food. I left work at 5, got home, and was in bed by 6 a.m. Woke up today almost 12 hours later. Okay. One doozy of a summer flu cold. And I had that like a week ago. True that, Rick, if someone can take a second to say hi. Is there somebody at my gate? Oh, my goodness. Oh. Just somebody walking their dog. I hate these tiny yards. You can hear everything. Everybody walks by talking on their phone. I'll be glad when I live in the country. Rick also did vegan diet because he was forced. No, I did it because I was tired of everybody telling me that the carnivore diet was going to kill me and how great the vegan diet was. And Bella Girl, 10555, good morning. This is Bella Girl, not Belly Ma. Dr. Baker is now in Florida. All have another Florida carnivore and a celebrity one. That is correct. And Dr. Baker is actually someone that most guys would probably want to be like. Nobody wants to be like Rick, I can tell you right now. I am not the ideal male that people want to be, because it's not the case. Just listening now as I rest sleep. Well, Jerry, glad you're here, and I hope that you will recover soon, because being sick is no fun. And again, I caught it, a week or two ago. You probably saw that. And I still have some after effects. I've had times where I had to cough, and I've had times where I get the sniffles a little more than usual. But it doesn't stop me from working. What actually did stop me from working is that my shoe finally failed. So when I was at Home Depot with a friend of mine getting some supplies, I had to take the thing off. So I was walking like 1 foot in socks and the other one in a shoe. But I got some other shoes that I picked up at Ross or one of those places. It's cheap, so I'll put that on. I just got to remember where I put them. And we have a well wish over there from Brian Airy. And good morning to Jerry. Have a great day, everyone. God bless. Rick, you are the man. So many errands to run. Okay, one more wisdom of Rick. Rick can squeeze orange juice out of a lemon. That's a good one. Well, I hope you enjoy doing your errands. And again, I have a million things I have to do. So when I finish my live stream, I will be out and about working. So glad that you were here. No, Rick wasn't forced to do vegan diet. He just fell prey to his parents' urging and tried it for several months, but found they didn't feel well and went back to the carnivore diet. And now okay, there it goes. Went back to eating meat and eggs. Yes. How much lard or butter do you need for iguana? Because it looks like lean meat. You just put the lard in the pot and you deep fry it, just like you would deep fry chicken or fish or anything else. That's all. I don't measure it. The meat takes what it's going to take, and that's it. Okay. Dr. Barry knows me and Ted. Okay. He actually said I like that dog. So Dr. Barry does interact with some people. That's good to know, because I wasn't sure if Dr. Barry was a real person or if he was AI generated. Good morning, Coach Angela Mullins from Brian. Okay. So I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to get to the comments. Granny Barry just moved in to the big new house with Ken and Nisha. Good. I'm glad that they make enough money to have a nice big house. Hi, retired Rick. I didn't hear Granny Barry moved into a new house. Granny Barry will be like pet status now for their channel. And rest and hydrate. Yes, you're going to be fine. Any nausea or just exhaustion, body aches? That's a good question. More than likely, we'll get to talk to Granny Barry again. All right, a lot of people sure like the Dr. Barry stuff. Nisha's cooking food she likes and taking really good care of her. Okay, and headache. And there's Dan saying goodbye. Goodbye. Again, check out his channel if you can. And I think I caught up with the comments. I look a lot more like Rick than Dr. Baker. I'm tall and skinny, but I don't look muscular. I feel great. That is right. And you know what? How you look, that's great. But how you feel, that's where the real benefits take place. What good is it to look really good, be muscular and super attractive, and then you feel like crap? You know, I had friends when I was in high school, and I got a friend now that he spent his time, growing up, bodybuilding, working out, whatever. He got married, put on weight, and then now he's got high blood pressure, pre-diabetes. They got him on metformin, and then now he's got erectile dysfunction, which means even though he wants to get it up, he can't. I got the opposite problem. I have no trouble getting it up when I get enough sleep, but I just don't want to around other people. That's a totally different issue. And we have a question for Papa Carnivore. How many times you eat every day? That's a good question. Once, twice, 3 times. I know that some channels, Robert Kilt says that you should eat once a day, no more than twice. I believe 3 times a day for some people is good. People who are very active with physical work or people that engage in bodybuilding, in my opinion, do better on multiple meals a day. We know that Jonathan eats multiple meals a day. He can tell you how much he eats. He does. But a person who sits at a desk all day and works in front of a computer, they may be able to get away with 1 meal a day. If you do mostly professional work, you're using your brain more than physical muscles, I think 1 meal a day is fine for most people, but not for me. 1 meal a day means I stuff myself so full that I have to rest for 2 hours after, and I can't do that. I would rather eat the smaller meals through the day. I could eat my meal and go right back to work, and it works out just fine. Okay, so we have finally caught up with the comments, usually in the first hour of the show, although the show was delayed by a few minutes thanks to technical issues. I cover the comments. That way I can get that out of the way. When I work, I like to get the hardest stuff done first, or the stuff like if you're repairing a concrete wall. You pour the concrete, you do the plastering, and then while you're doing the electric or the plumbing, that's drying. If you have to glue something together, you put that there and let it dry. That's what I like to do. And then I can relax and do the more detailed work. So now let's talk about what the show is about. Several things have happened this week, and there's other things that have happened recently that I haven't talked about. So, what's new and news in the carnivore community? I'm going to go over to my other display and I'm going to see how the comments are coming in because I know a lot of times the chat comments are delayed for some reason. Okay, and a bunch of them just popped in right now. All right, let me go back. Okay. Carnivore men seem to either be skinny, fat, or super fit, just like everyone else in America. That is correct. We're not going to be all the same. Jonathan, I want to go to southern Wales. Is the area my David family came for before moving. Okay. To the United States. Once, twice, 3 times a day. Somebody's going back to the old songs. Jonathan Wales, Welsh Corgis. Well, there you go. All right. I came from underweight, anorexic. Yesterday I sleep, and my phone is ringing. So who is that? Who is calling me? Huh. Oh. Hello. Hello. Yes, I can hear you. Talking about celebrity people. There we go. Yes, I did hear the burp. I'm sure everybody else did. Yeah. Burp. Ah. There we go.
I got a lot of housework to do today. The wife's going to be gone. Doing fantastic. So, how's everybody doing? Good morning.
Hopefully everybody's good. Milton played with my mixer, so I don't know if they heard the beginning of the call.
Hopefully they're good.
I'm looking.
I enter like that with a real burp.
There you go. Yeah, I'm looking at my VU meter. It is working now. Milton unplugged my Ethernet cable and played with my mixer, so he was an active kitty.
So I'm glad you found your kittens.
Yes, they showed up when I came home from work. They were right there begging for food. And I'm sure they're begging for food right now, but I haven't had the time when I got up at 6:30. I've been in a cleanup mode and cooked breakfast, and I had phone ringing, and it's just crazy.
Your phone ringing just because of me, or people want you to work?
It's work. I've been working for a friend of mine trying to get the apartment back in shape after the mentally ill person ruined it, and now everybody else all of a sudden has problems. It's like when I'm not working, nobody calls me. I can go for days without a single phone call. Then I get one job, and then the phone starts ringing nonstop. It's like a light goes on. Oh, Rick's busy. We got to get him.
Yeah, it's like Murphy's Law, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
When it rains, it pours, but in a good way for you.
That's right.
Okay. So, everything else going okay?
Ah, it's better. Get some water in the system. So you're just waking up, getting ready to start the day. You don't work today, do you?
No.
Okay.
I do because I got a lot of housework to do.
Well, yeah.
I told the wife.
That's working for yourself. It's still work. It's like me. I never really take time off. Oh, Rick, why don't you take a vacation? Like, what's a vacation?
Exactly.
Is that where you sit around and do nothing and think about all the stuff you have to do? Exactly.
Just do it.
That's right. I tell everybody, I prefer to take my vacations in small pieces. So instead of taking 2 weeks off for a vacation, I'll take 10 minutes off one day, I'm working and I'll do something else. Maybe I'll feed the ducks or feed the cats or go out there and walk around in the woods, whatever. I'll find like little vacations.
There you go. That's very good.
Go on a bike ride.
Well, yeah, I didn't want to take away from your show because I know you were getting started topics and things you wanted to talk about. So I just wanted to call in and say, hey.
I appreciate it. And by the way, if anyone hasn't heard our interview, this is Kurt. We had an interview a week ago. You might want to check it out. It's the very first interview I've ever done on my channel, and it's a really good one. If you can listen to that interview and not get emotional, then you really need to see what's happening with your personality, because he's a very inspiring guy over here.
Well, I appreciate it, Rick, and I'm grateful that I was able to get my story out, even though it was condensed version.
Right. Well, at least some of it is out there, and people can listen to it. If they're not familiar with your story, take a little time. The best thing, it is a phone interview, so you don't have to watch it. You can just turn it on and put in your earphones or listen on whatever audio device, and it'll give you a really good synopsis of what happened in Kurt's life and how the carnivore lifestyle has made a drastic change. Basically, you take someone who's circling the drain and you pluck them out, and life restarts again.
Oh, I can't even say how much I was circling the drain.
Mm-hmm.
It was scary.
Right.
All right. Well, Rick, I'll let you get back to your show, and I'll finish listening.
Well, thanks for calling in. Appreciate it. Always a treat for me.
All right. Well, you take care, brother.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.
Okay. Well, another technical issue caught. And remember, Rick, always watch the VU meter to make sure that you have sound. And that was Kurt. You probably missed the part where he burped when he called in, but that is his greeting. And everyone has their little unique thing in this carnivore community. And again, if you haven't seen our interview, check it out. Look at the channel. It's actually a little segment that I did. It's called Share Your Story. Share your story with Rick. And I think it was very good. And it's really nice that I can be here to help people share their story. Because really, as Robert Kiltz always says, it's all a story. And that's really what we are. We're writing our story right now. Whether or not anybody wants to read it, that's the question. Your one small meal. So the question that was for me, from Terry Girl, when you work all day away from home, what lunch do you pack for yourself? Normally what I will do, I will get some cold meat. I got a screw that fell on the floor. That's not good. What I had last time is basically either pork or chicken or beef, and it's been cooked and it's cold, and I put it in a container. And there are times where I will get raw meat. If it's beef, I don't have any right now, but if I do have good beef, I will pack it in ice, and I will take frozen raw meat to the job site, and when it's time to eat lunch, I'll eat the raw meat. And that is a bit shocking to some people, but that's okay. Pond apple. When I lived in Miami area, I always liked yards like Rick's. The cool people had them. Yes, one of the places that had a lot of yards like this was Coconut Grove. Coconut Grove used to be full of sort of the hippie types, the bohemian types, the environmental types. Now it's full of money launderers, so they wiped all that out. But yeah, that's it. Okay, let's see. Oh my goodness. All right. Gotta get out before it starts pouring. Happy Saturday. Thanks, Rick. Well, thanks, Tammy. Glad you were here. We had 81 watching at the time that Sandy posted this, and that's good. Have a good day, Tammy. Rick has too many phones. I like when it rings. He answers, and it still keeps ringing. Yeah. I have 24 telephones in my house, believe it or not. 24 telephones. There are 24 extensions. They all run off a channel bank, and it's quite interesting. And I haven't had a landlines for 12 years, I think, but I still use wired phones. So I have 23 wired phones and one cordless phone system. And of course, I got this from a clean out, so I have several cordless phones. 78 watchers, cool. Hit that like button, why don't you? I agree with that. Sounds like a good plan. It's always good to hit like on the channel. And I still can't get... Oh, there we go. All right. Who's on the phone? We didn't hear it, but I found the problem and I fixed it. And it's Kurt Meathead. Yes, you could think of something somewhat similar together too. This call sounds like from old movies. That's the whole idea. That is the whole idea. It does. This is the only channel that gives you a phone-in line. And by the way, this is one of the few channels that uses a vintage microphone. This sounds like a call from a hostage taker. Don't ignore us, Rick. I'm not ignoring you, Rick. Hello, good morning. Milton will take over. Relax. Yeah, Milton takes over. We're in trouble. Sharon, hello again. Hey, sweetie, my friend sarcastically said to me, you should do carnivore too. Was not serious, of course. You should. Before you get diabetes, you look suddenly fearful. Interesting. I know a lot of people that are dealing with diabetes. I'll watch the interview after this live, Rick. Lovely to hear you, Kurt. Hope your weekend has got up to a great start. So Joe is giving you good wishes, and that is great. I appreciate that. The people in the chat are more important. It was going well. If you walk into a store and the cashier ignores you, phone interviews are good when the show needs push after a bit. Yes, or someone just wants to chime in and let them know how they're doing. Always fun, yes. Carnivores don't burp. Well, I don't, but some people probably do. That's what I was thinking. There we go. There you go. Share your duck food story on Live at 8 with Rick. Well, there you are. And by the way, usually don't fart either, and I don't. When I went plant-based, though, I did. And I can tell you that in the old courthouse elevator, people were so eager to get out. When we hit the next floor, everybody left except for me and two other people. And I don't think they were all getting off on the 8th floor. Or 7th floor? I don't remember. Somewhere around there. Okay. Seltzer water. That might do it. Have a great weekend, Rick. Time to make the donuts. Well, you could do donuts. Get on the ATV and go out there and do donuts. My 8-year-old cousin embarrassed her mom and told me her mom farts when she sleeps. Women don't do that. I said, yes, they do. She said, my grandma does it more. I guess that's so they got the term old fart. Yes, Coconut Grove. My kid's doctor was there. Brought her dog to work. That used to be an interesting place. It's a disaster now. And we have a good morning officially from Kurt Meathead. Awesome. Let me see here. What is this? I got a YouTube notification. Okay, what happened? Oh. Okay. Just a comment on an old video. Good morning, Kurt. Have a good day. And welcome. So we've caught up with the comments again. Now, what I want to talk about in terms of carnivore news, I'm going to switch over here to the internet. And let's see. All right. I was watching a vacuum tube video. There was somebody making a video about how vacuum tubes can become valuable. All right. So who's done what? Now, we know that Liz is with Steven right now. So, which of the following brands you associate with tokenization? Tokenization? I have no idea. I think tokenization is a scam.
Stalking us, you're filming us.
So they're there.
And
okay. So they're doing live right now. I guess they do that for an hour or so. I'm going to go ahead and click alive. Oh, my God. No. I am not answering that phone. Sorry. You have a leaky toilet. And I told you I don't have time to fix your toilet. I told you to get a bucket, put it next to the toilet when you flush it, so that way the bowl gasket will leak in the bucket. And then, when I get the time, I will go there and fix it. But if you're not going to cooperate, I'm going to ignore you. That's right. Okay, so we have someone, good morning, steadfast. Okay, good morning to Liz and Steven. So we have some more hellos. But anyway, let me go back to the internet. Now, what happened with Sean Baker lately? All right. So we will look at Sean Baker, and you can see he's made a video. Now, our friend Sean Baker has left his very nice home on 5 acres in Washington State and has moved to the septic tank of the world, otherwise known as Florida, or as I say, the only place in the world where you can get a free sauna 9 months out of the year. Did he move to a nice rural home surrounded by cattle? Of course not. He moved to a condo. I cannot picture Dr. Sean Baker living in a condo. I think of him as living out in Texas on a ranch. You remember that show Dallas, where you had J.R. Ewing? Remember the whole Who Shot J.R. nonsense of the 80s? You have, I forget what the ranch was called, but you have this big ranch and a big mansion. That's where I think about Sean Baker living, not a condo. But hey, if he can tolerate it, he's a better man than me, because I think of a condo as living in prison. The only difference is that when you live in a condo prison, you have to pay a maintenance fee. When you live in a regular prison, all expenses are covered. So, I don't know. But anyway, Sean Baker has moved to Florida. But if you look over here and you see one of his other videos, it said, "Did Brian Johnson cause his own disease?" Now, we know who this is. This is some tech billionaire, kind of millionaire, whatever. He made money. He made money in tech. And like a lot of these tech people, they are a little bit off. You know, their mind is a little bit broken. So he's got this crazy idea that he can defy entropy, which, by the way, nobody can do. There is no living organism that can defy entropy. It is absolutely impossible. The only entity that can defy entropy would be a spiritual entity. And who would that be? Well, we know who that is. So the only individual that can defy entropy is someone that is not in the physical world. This guy is not going to defy entropy. So he's been messing around with all kinds of supplements and potions and all this other crap. He doesn't go out in the sun because he's afraid that he's going to get old. And yes, sun will age your skin. That is inevitable. I work outside all the time. I don't look like I did when I was 20. But you know what? I don't want to look like when I was 20, because when I was 20, nobody respected me. What idiot would want to look like you're 20? I mean, seriously. When you get older, you develop a reputation based on your actions. So, but again, the system that we live in, they want people to be helpless. So one of the things that you'll see in a lot of commercials since about the 1980s, they try to make men look stupid. Like, men get married. Think of Homer Simpson or Al Bundy from, what was that show they used to have? Married with Children. The men are dumb. They sit around on the couch. They watch sports. They drink soda. They eat chips. And they're just stupid. And when they get old, they're worthless. They try to tell us that being old is a fate worse than being dead. And they just want us to chase around something that we can't have. We are never going to make ourselves young again. If you are 60 years old, you are not going to look like when you were 20. But again, what if, and you can see the picture over here, you got Brian who's in his 40s, and you got Dr. Baker who's 59. The guy's almost 60. Does he look like a 20-year-old? No. Does he look like a 30-year-old? No. Does he look like a 40-year-old? Kind of. Does he look like a 50-year-old? Well, he looks better than the average 50-year-old, and he certainly doesn't look like a 60-year-old. So when he gets to be 60 years old, which of these two would you rather look like? This guy that looks like Dracula, or this guy? And again, if you don't know, I can show you a comparison of Dr. Baker and me. Yes, Dr. Baker looks a little older than me, but his body is much better. And I have a lot of respect for older people that are in good shape. In fact, when I see somebody over 60 who's in good shape and active, to me, that person is more valuable than someone who's 20. Because a person who's 20 has a lot of learning to do. You could be in the best possible physical shape, but your brain doesn't have the experience. If you see somebody who's in good physical shape, who's older, to me, that's like a credential that is far beyond any college degree or any certification. It's like, okay, this is what I did. And there's a lot of people on the internet that are in their 50s that look pretty good and that are intelligent, and those are the people I want to watch. But this guy, Brian Johnson, he, and I think he's just trying to market supplements, because like everything else, when people go on the internet and they start making claims and whatever, and they say stupid things like don't die, or Gregor, the idiot vegan that says how not to die, and he looks like he's 70 and he's only 50. I mean, seriously, this is something, it's just, well, what do they call the grifters? Charlatan. They got all kinds of names for people like that. But anyway, Dr. Baker did make a video about this, and the theory is it is possible that his ridiculous plant-based diet may have been causing the gastritis. Now, I know a lady that has suffered gastritis, and I don't even know what it was until recently. And I tell people, well, you could suffer gastritis and live longer, or you could go on Rick's heart attack diet and never have a digestive issue. If you do get the flu, it only lasts 3 or 4 days, and then after that, things are pretty much normal. You may be as skinny as a toothpick, but you can pick up concrete blocks and heavy items, and you don't have any aches or pains. You don't need an alarm clock. There's so many things, so many benefits. But anyway, that was an interesting video, and I think that in many ways, it goes to show that when people start pushing all these fad diets and all these lifestyle hacks and all these other things, sometimes it backfires. And when you think you know everything, that's usually when you don't know anything. But again, that's the Rick way. Rick is a skeptical person, as you know. I'm always skeptical because I've seen so many people get scammed, and I am not going to let other people fall for that. So I will always criticize when people make up silly things that don't make sense. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Okay. We got more comments, and we got people that have dropped in. So let's get back to the comments so they don't get away from us. And I think they've already gotten away from me. Can you post buy me a coffee? Yes, I can do that. But you can also look it up, and I will do that. I don't get a lot of buy me coffees, but they are appreciated. Hello, Rick, from Jackie W. Indiana. Hello, everyone. Well, hello. I'm glad that you have dropped into my live stream. And let's see who else is here. Oh, come on. What is this? Oh, boy. Miami Vice 80s saw someone doing cocaine off a table in Coconut Grove Night Spot. It might have been the Mutiny Hotel. That's where all the drug dealers used to hang out. Let's see if he answers. Okay, let's see if who answers. Dr. Baker did a video, short, says Brian Johnson has given himself an autoimmune disease. Yes, Brian Johnson does. Hey, Michael Pregler, good to see you here. I figured you've been busy. Haven't seen too many comments from you, but this is another one of our older but fit carnivore people. I wish you'd make some videos. Interesting. I'd like to know more about you. Maybe you'll do an interview. Yeah. So he went from 5 acres. He moved to make his wife happy. He said that on Facebook. Now, see, this is why Rick's not married. If I was married and my wife says, well, you got to move out of the country and move to a condo, I'll be like, you know what? I hate to say it, but I think this whole marriage thing doesn't work for me. I think I'd rather just spend time with my cat. Or better than that, maybe I'll get a boyfriend. How's that? Yes, I'll get a boyfriend. That's it. That way the women can't say that I'm politically incorrect. That's what I'll do. He grew up on Gulf Coastal Texas. All right. Yeah, he does look like a Texan. He's got that sort of look to it. And I live out in the country in Bluff County, northeast Iowa. I have several acres. Beautiful view. If I had to go to a condo, I believe that would be the end of me. And I agree with you. There is no way. I would never, ever want to live in a condo. Absolutely not. I don't care. Here we have all these luxury condos, and I say it's an oxymoron. Luxury condo is like delicious turd. You know, there's no such thing as a delicious turd unless you're a dung beetle. A condo is basically, we take a space that was decent and we stack and pack more people on it. So the idea is like here in Florida, take a nice home. Let's say you had a nice house on Brickell Avenue back in the 60s or 70s. You got an acre lot, you got beautiful view, you got trees all over the place. You sell it to a drug dealer and then they tear it down and they put a high-rise on it. Okay, so where there was one rich person, now you have a ton of other people. And that's kind of the mentality. It's called stack and pack. And stack and pack is very profitable, but it relies on people being dumb enough or brainwashed enough to think that living stacked and packed is good. Look at what they're doing in New York City with the old Pfizer building. They're going to turn that old office building into apartments, and it's already collapsing because basic engineering wasn't followed. So, and you see what happened in Surfside. They built a drug dealer finance condo on the coast, and it collapsed. And as soon as the place collapsed, the developers were all scrambling to get the land so they can build another condo. So I guess there's an unlimited plan of people stupid enough to live stacked and packed. But the main reason I hate being stacked and packed is because I can't do anything. I'm going to be stripping a van and an old Charger in my front yard. I have a garden. I have cats. I have ducks. You can't do any of that stuff in a condo. You could have a cat, but you can't have cats roaming around, and you definitely can't have ducks. So I'd rather live in a trailer on a piece of property than live in the most expensive apartment you could ever imagine. I guess if I had to live in an apartment, I'd live in a penthouse on the top of the building so I could have a garden, but even that would be a downgrade. I like living on the earth. I don't like living in the air, but hey, if it works for him, that's fine. I see it in Dr. Baker to be a city guy. I ran from country too. I love my apartment. Well, I guess Dr. Baker in the condo is a temporary situation. I think he's getting a house ready. Well, maybe he'll build a house near my rural property in South Florida. That'd be interesting. I go there and I'm living in my 900 square foot bunker, and then I see this big muscular guy running down the road. I'm thinking, I think I've seen this guy before, and it's Dr. Baker. It'll be like, and then Dr. Baker will run back to his house. We got to move. That crazy Rick lives down the street. I don't think I want to be around him. Can you imagine anybody living next to Rick? They'd lose their mind. Oh, I can't do that. That Rick guy's nuts. I think he's building a nuclear reactor in his house. I don't know. I have 5 acres. Totally see moving to a condo in Florida. But then again, I live in Missouri, Michigan, whatever. And isn't that what we do when we get old? Turning into snowbirds. Well, I hope not. I have a friend who's 85 now. He used to live in Florida. He moved to Nebraska. He's happier there than ever. Loves Nebraska. Okay. All right, let's see. So we have a good morning. Nice, yeah. My aunt's condo has one common wall. It's an Arnold Palmer designed golf course. It's really nice. Might be an older one. The new condos are just boxes. They're black, white, and gray boxes crammed in wherever they can fit them. I'm a cop landlord caller here in our small 7-unit apartment building. There we go. When you are, whoops, oh boy, I'm on. When you're older, makes life nice and simple. No worries about taking care of acreage and too much house. They will retire nice and rich. Well, that's why I want to build a 900 square foot concrete house, built like a bunker. I'll never have to maintain it. It'll last as long as I live. And I don't cut grass in my yard. My yard is mulch. So my idea of a lawnmower is a skid steer with a mulcher on the front of it, which is a big mower deck. When the bushes get too big or there's a fire hazard, you just go out there and mow everything down with your skid steer, and then you just have mulch in your whole yard. If you want to take an engine out of your car, you don't have to worry about messing up your pretty lawn or damaging your driveway. You just do it right in the middle of the yard. And then when you're done, if you spill any oil, you can scoop that up, throw it into the fire, and spread your mulch out, and everything's, you got it. I have 75,000 square feet of grass to cut. I have a bluff and timber behind my house, wildlife every year. Why in the F would you want to live in a condo? Yes. And actually, if you had the need for it, you should get one of those mowers and get a skid steer, so that way it's easier to manage your wooded areas in case you get any invasive shrubs or trees. It's been a while. Yeah, right? The problem with condos and apartments is there's other people around. I hate being other people. Yeah, exactly. The other problem is in Florida's climate, they deteriorate. So it's only a matter of time before the building falls apart, and then some developer pays you like 1/10 of what it's actually worth, kick you out, and then they tear it down and build an even bigger white elephant, which will deteriorate in another 40 or 50 years. And by then, the developers already lived their life, and that's it. I turned 50 this month. I wish I looked as good as well as Dr. Baker. Well, with Jonathan around, you might. You never know. Anything might be possible, especially when you're healthy. 100%, I agree. At least my overhead condo neighbors are up north in the summer. Okay. His wife might be thinking ahead if she became alone for whatever reason. Well, I don't know. Seems like Dr. Baker would outlive, but usually these celebrity carnivore guys usually have a younger wife, so that might be what it is. Less work, Michael. I wouldn't want to live where he was. One thing I've learned, doesn't matter what you live in or where you live as long as you're comfortable, peaceful, and safe. Yeah, that's probably true. I just would never want to live in an apartment. It's terrible. It's bad enough living in a suburb. I hate being this close to the neighbors. But then again, it's fine. I have a ton of work to do around my house. I'll be 68 next month and look forward to it. Takes me 3 hours just to cut the grass, then I gotta trim it all and the rest. Well, see, you have all the grass. I'm not gonna have all the grass. You know, if I had that much land, I'd get myself some goats, and I'd go out there and turn the goats loose and let them eat everything. And then you know how they always leave the stuff around the edge? I'd fire up the bobcat, get the mower and mow around the edges so the bushes don't take over. And the goats, they have free run of the place, and you get goat milk and goat meat. Can't go wrong with that. Okay, let's see. All right, let me see here. I believe being around a lot of other people is less safe than living in the country. That is, I agree with that 100%. You know, there's nothing wrong if you live in the country. The great thing about living in the country is you're closer to your food source. Yep, agree. Gastritis showed up for me on SAT at the same time as reflux. Correct both by eating low acid, starchy diet, wean myself off the stomach meds that way. Interesting. I can't imagine what it'd be like to have digestive issues on a regular basis. But then again, the only chronic health issue I have is a sinus problem, and it doesn't bother me that much. It doesn't slow me down one bit. Maybe a little annoying, but that's okay. All right, so much rather be happy. 64 watching and 19 likes. We got to get the likes up. I seem to have lost some people, but hey, that's fine. I have to say, I am lucky. I have a beautiful home, 3,600 square feet of living space, and a fantastic view out over a valley. Kick ass. That's nice. I like a small house. I want to have 1,000 square feet or less. I want to have a 6-inch or thicker concrete roof, concrete outside walls, concrete interior walls, terrazzo floor, impact windows, steel door. I like having my front door like I have here. It is 2 sheets of 1/8 of an inch plate filled with concrete. It'll basically stop any bullet, and I just like it. And then the outside of my house will be bricks or rocks. I don't have to paint anything. There will be no lawn to cut. It's all going to be woods. If the woods catch on fire, the house can't burn, because not only will I have the impact windows, but I will also have metal shutters that cover the windows, insulated with whatever I have, even if I use asbestos. I don't care. A house that it would be like putting something in a fire and it won't burn. And that's it. Who needs anything else? If you have a home that is resistant to the weather and it's small, I don't like big houses. I don't like wood for building. I will never use wood for building. I have to repair a house that's half wood. Not fun. Termites, I don't want to deal with that. So we'll do things simple. And it'll be like a 1950s space age house. That's what I like. But I love living in the woods. And again, if you have trouble managing the woods, get yourself that skid steer and mower. You can get a forestry mulcher. And at any time, it doesn't matter what grows there, you can take it out faster than it can grow. Can't go wrong with that. All right, let's see. We got, oh boy. Yes, Sandy, the dwelling doesn't matter. It's the location you're in. Yes, a good relationship is not living under the same roof. I agree with that. It's like people like to sleep together. I sleep by myself. The only thing that can sleep in my bed with me is my kitty cat, because he does not bother me, and he is cute and furry, so he's just fine. Doesn't bother me at all. We just moved my 91-year-old father into assisted living last year. Otherwise, he needed no help for nothing. Exactly. There's no reason. If your place is set up right, and again, if you're on the heart attack diet like I am, I don't think I'll ever get to the point where I have to be in a nursing home, because I'm going to drop dead chasing an iguana. Rick would not be able to function in a clean, uncluttered environment. Well, with no clutter, there's nothing to work with. And there's BK53. Hi, Rick Milton, the Miss Kitty Gang, and the Saturday Quack team. Well, hello. Glad that you are here. I will have a lovely house after we're done. It's a bit of a mess at the moment. Lots of repairs. But when I move, I want to have a brand new home that I built. I'll never have to fix it. And when I'm gone, people can say, wow, this is the best preserved house from the 50s I've ever seen, even though it was built in the 2020s. That's a never-ending quest working on home. Yes, it is, but not for me. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what I say. But I lived a different life than you guys. Rick, no, how's banana trees? Wish I was closer. I need bananas for fertilizer. One broke because I haven't been watering, but that's okay. I would never say, maybe I'll get a boyfriend. Instead, I say the opposite. I'm definitely not gay. Leave me alone with someone's wife. See what happens. Well, you got to remember, these women that always like to be, what do they call that? DEI, diversity, blah, blah, whatever, inclusive. So you just tell them that. They can get mad at you. They can call you womanizer or whatever. You say, I'm going to get a boyfriend. They'll be like, okay. Problem is, I'm sure if I told somebody that, they wouldn't believe me. They go, yeah, the guy's making it up. But it's one way to get their attention. And if you like women, it's like my friend used to say, if they think that you're into guys, they'll chase you more. But again, how do I know? I don't know anything about that. I'm asexual. That's the problem. I prefer natural building. If I'm still in Florida, I do a dome. That works too. Although the domes do have humidity issues in our climate, and there were several domes that were built here. Of course, they've all been torn down to build apartment buildings, but they did have issues. What is that sound? I need to have a gate with a trap door in case somebody walks in uninvited. Have like a trap door that goes down into a gator pit. That'd be perfect. Like on the Pink Panther, they had that thing that the The little guy with the big nose. Push the button. Okay. Now I have a phone call right now. I'm going to pick it up on the other phone. Where's my phone? Oh. Hello? Yeah. Oh. Oh, nice. Finally. Mm-hmm. Well, that's good. Well, take time, clean them up. That's the thing. Take some time and get your tools together. They'll save you time in the long run. Yeah, go get a hoe. Okay, excellent. Sounds like you're making great progress. Oh, okay. Another day. Wow. Nothing. Okay, that's good. Right. Right. Right, right. Well, that's good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. She called me, but I told her I've been working with you. Right. Well, she's got to put her foot down with her mom and say, let Al do it. That's all. Okay. Whatever. All right. Okay. I'm not sure, but I'm still busy right now, but I'm catching up. Okay. Sounds good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. Okay. Maybe, you might want to get some clamps for the conduit, the little clamps that you attach to the wall. Yeah. And also, you might want to get a 3/4 inch conduit. I'm thinking about rerouting that rig that was from the dryer, and the whole thing is kind of weird. I may redo that. Yeah, I'd redo it. And did you plug in Chuck's refrigerator to the house? All right, plug that in so it don't go bad. Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, you'll find it eventually. That's the beauty of it. You should try to organize those aluminum containers and maybe put tools in there. That'd be a good place for them. Okay. Right. 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 Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Hmm. Right. 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 Hopefully today we'll have the air conditioning working. We'll get that electric straightened out, and it's getting there. It just takes time. I would get one because I'm thinking of rerouting that thing. There's like I don't know, whoever did that must have been drunk. And the other problem is the box that's in there is not an outdoor box. They stacked 2 indoor boxes. It's full of rust. You might want to get an outdoor box for the dryer outlet. I mean, what I'm thinking of, I think it's 3-prong is what it is, but it's just a box, then the lid. You have to take a look at it. It's all kind of wacky. It's what they did. Yeah, that's later, but you got to put another feed. If you're going to weld, I would recommend replacing the wires coming in, those aluminum wires, maybe put another conduit. This is just a temporary, just so you got all the breakers you need. We're not going to draw any more current than it was drawing. It's just that 100 amp, that ain't the control. The 50 amp at the panel is a control. The 100 amp is just there for the future. You know what I mean? We're doing it now, and we're going to upgrade it later. When we're done in the future, that thing's going to be a massive power setup, and you'll be ready to do anything. Okay. Well, that's all I can think about. Some of those brackets, and then 3/4 conduit. So get some of the little holders for the 1/2 inch and the 3/4, and then maybe an outdoor box for the dryer, because that thing is kind of okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Bye. Okay. Sorry about that. That's my friend that I'm trying to get this done. I don't like to waste my time going with somebody to get the materials. I want to get them used to buying it from the supplier, so when they go to the electrical supply, they know what to get. My friend's smart. He knows a lot about what I know. I don't like to just do work for people that I know without telling them how it's done, because it helps me. A lot of times when people are dependent and they call you every time, it just takes more time. Yeah, I make a little more money, but I'd rather make less money than run around all the time. I'd rather have people with the power to know how things work. I explain how everything works when I do a job. So when there's a problem, they feel like they're invested in it, and it really helps. And it's a shame that I told all my friends to sell their rental properties. Most of them moved away because the market no longer makes sense. But when the Federal Reserve is finally prevented from printing money, sooner or later, it's either going to be an economic catastrophe or there's going to be a revolution. The Fed will have to stop printing money, the real estate market will collapse, and things will go back to the way they were. The rental market will once again become a great thing to be in, because providing a product or service that's affordable, providing rental properties that are a good place for people to start out. Now it's just too expensive. But if you can get into that market, then somebody like me who fixes things and upgrades things is going to become valuable again. And I charge reasonable rates. I do excellent work. I do better work than most contractors. That's the scary part. I'm like, really? How did that work out? But anyway, I refuse to do crappy work. Fantastic thing using goats to clear, and we have a service around here. They put a fence up, yeah, and leave them on. Exactly. The goats are very effective. But again, if you don't want to deal with the goats, get yourself a skid steer loader. I call it a bobcat. Buy or build your own mowing attachment for the front, and you can take out all kinds of vegetation that you don't want around. Because the problem is there's a lot of invasive stuff. I know around here we have Brazilian pepper and elephant grass, and other places you have cedars. And there's all these plants that just take over, and that's one way that you can get it under control. Yep, have a friend that has some. I need to get some fence. Yeah, there you go. Get the goats in there. I used to think I like Chinese women, but they don't like me. They want blue eyes. Okay, and people have their preferences, I guess. Whatever. Okay. All right. And I've lost control of the chat. How did that happen? Oh, we got a lot of people here. Opinions, options are good. Farm living houses, high-rise city condos, something for everyone. We liked everything. Yeah, that's true. I'm tired of seeing the only thing they build are these stupid apartments. We got plenty of apartments. Maybe we need to just stop producing so many people we don't need. I don't know. Or how about we help other countries so they don't keep exporting their problems to us? We have people like here in Miami that come from all over the world because the place they live in is a disaster. And a lot of times it's because the U.S., the banker class, has taken advantage of their country and left them with poverty. And the people are desperate, they come here. And now we have to deal with the problem. Maybe it's better if we just don't cause the problem? So there are beautiful women in every race, no bias there, lifeline. Yeah, that is true. I think my Filipino daughter-in-law married my son for his blue eyes too. All right, well, you don't have any control of what your eye color is. Blue, green, brown, whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I don't choose my cats based on fur or eye color. I choose them based on personality. That's the important thing. I got a cute Garfield and a Calico, and I got a Black Menace. And why I have a Black Menace, that's my number one kitty. He's still a Black Menace, but I like him. Good morning, Peter. Hope you're well. Good morning. Yes. Let's see. My mom tried to get me to only date guys with nice cars. Grew up around a lot of hot rods. Detroit. Classic muscle cars are everywhere. That's right. And a nice car is a relative term. And you better listen to Kurt because he's telling you the truth here. Show Rick some love and smash the thumbs up button. Yes, I agree with that. Okay, let's see. Oh my. Will I ever catch up? Probably not. All right. My Peter, my granddaughter is a beauty. It's a good mix, yeah. We were in Mexico hunting a few years back. We eat a lot of goat meat. Absolutely love it. Goat meat is good. On the days I have one meal, I have some beef sticks and a few cans of sardines, smoked oyster in my locker at work if I need a snack midday. Well, there you go. All right, let's see. How did the chat get away from me? Oh, well. Some primitive cultures have a separate longhouse for the men, even the married ones. Interesting. Okay. Still battling the weight I had gained from the yogurt and berries experiments. Yeah, that was not a good experiment. Understand that one. We added a few different vegetables, 90% meat. Still struggling, but hopeful. Okay. Been spending more time praying and practicing being grateful. That always helps. I found it super easy to gain weight quickly. Well, you tell me. I can't gain weight. It's easy to lose weight, hard to gain it. Indigenous people in Malaysia still live in longhouses. It builds a great community and family structure. What's that sound? You need a mate, Rick. I don't know about that. I got a cat. That's plenty. A moat. Yes, I need a moat. Yes, I do. I need a trap door or something. The non-starchy veg like pickle, sauerkraut, asparagus, avocado isn't the problem. It was a yogurt, berries, and cheese for me that was the problem. Yes. Everybody was Chinese. The girl's dad is white. Mom is Chinese. A blonde Chinese girl was much celebrated by all of them. I didn't know the blonde Chinese existed. Nice. I wish I could easily cook outside every day. Not likely in this condo. I have a picky nose. Yeah. See, that's another thing. You can't have a barbecue very effectively in a condo. You might be able to use a gas grill, but you couldn't build a fire. We added a lot of berries and stuff at a time, Peter, but we took it out. Yes. I'm growing strawberries, so I could eat one every week or so. There you go. If you grow it yourself, you can only eat so much. Modern housewives can be isolated. Communal cooking is good for women. Okay. I was pure carnivore for a solid 2 years. Nothing but meat and eggs. We added in a few veggies and some more dairy, and I feel absolutely fantastic. Well, again, I consume dairy, and I do occasionally consume fermented foods. So, and I've been carnivore for decades. So what Michael's saying makes sense to me. Strawberries from your or a neighbor's local farm's garden is probably okay for most folks, but I can't moderate berries. I binge on them. That's because you can get them from the store. I'm back. 3.3 miles in just under an hour. Slower walk than yesterday. Mosquitoes are bad right now. I got more bites today than I had all last year. Must be that hot, humid weather. That'll do it every time. Okay. Everyone, kids even help with cooking and hunting. That's a traditional culture right there. Asian men love blondes. When we pulled into Fort Some of our women got asked out on dates every night, and we're treated like queens. Well, there you go. See, there's an advantage. What do they say? Blondes have more fun? Hey, Mr. North Dakota, I sit in tree stands a lot, and my thermal cell works fantastic. Give them a try if you haven't. I'm not sure what that is, but I would trust it. Same with yogurt. I can't moderate and binge and pack on the pounds like crazy. Cheese is also something I have to be careful with. Again, I don't know why I can't gain weight on any of that stuff. I guess I'm just too skinny. I don't know. Age is a great equalizer in a marriage. Peter, only get one per week. So no chance to overindulge. Yes, I happen to be one of the lucky ones. In order for me to gain weight, I got to pound a lot of pasta, potatoes, and crap like that, and I don't. Well, that's smart because that's all duck food. Who in the world would eat duck food? Making coffee. Rick, I love that idea. You should get that. I think you said that you like the skid steer loader. So if you got one of those, it would eliminate all the problems you have to deal with, dealing with brush and all that stuff. I know the feeling, though I bought snacks for an open house and ate the leftovers the week following. Okay. The duck food, whenever I get those leftovers from a get-together or something, people give them to me, and you know what I do with them. I would never eat that crap. I can't lower myself to eat duck food. I'd have to be really starving, and duck food makes me sick anyway. I'd be better off if I was totally starving and all I had was duck food. You know what I would do? I would take the duck food, I'd walk down to the canal, and I'd go, here, ducky, 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 or chick, 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 chick. And I'd have my throw net ready, and as soon as they came, and I wouldn't waste my time getting them fattened up. I'd eat them straight from the canal, which is kind of yucky, but it's still better than eating duck food. Every once in a while, I'll eat a baked potato because I love them, but not that often. Well, every once in a while, I'll have a plantain. When meat is running low, and I got a yard full of plantains, I might eat one. Hey, here comes my assistant. What's the matter, sweetie? Oh, no, go ahead. Oh, it's cute. This is my little friend. Say hello to my little friend. There we go. A little bit of a cute face, a little bit of a pretty eye. He's a beauty. He's a good kitty. I love my little kitten. Look at that soft kitten. Look at that beautiful, cute. Milton's like, I'm going to rip your lips off. Yes. I love my cat. Okay, Milton. Are you going to bite me? Don't you bite. No. No biting. No biting. Weigh myself every day. Reality check. I really like potatoes, but they are addictive and make me gain a lot of weight. I don't know why people like potatoes. Taters are nasty. I think about tater tots they had in school. The more I listen to you, the more I realize you are one of the smartest people in this space. Keep it up. Well, you're in good company. You know who said that to me? Believe it or not, Dr. Robert Kiltz. He told me that I was one of the smartest people in this space. So I think I'm going to have to start believing this because I keep hearing it. Milton. Look at the Milton tail. See, the Milton tail is always in my intro picture because little Milton is always here. Yes, he is. I love my kitten. I grew with you 100%. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Okay. Agree. I don't tell people how to repair drywall like I do. If they ask me to show them, instead hesitate, you'll get hurt because I want to do it again and charge again. And you know, this is another thing about me. I never, ever, ever put drywall on anything I live in. I hate drywall. There's nothing I hate more than drywall. If I'm going to do a drywall job, normally what I'll do, I'll buy what's called blue board, which is another type of drywall. What I hate about drywall is a cheap paper finish. It makes your walls look like cardboard. So what I'll do, I'll get the blue board and I will put that on the wall. And then I will use what's called veneer plaster. And I will put a couple of coats of that stuff on there. And then I'll take the little sponge and kind of sponge it. My old house from '59 has the surfaces are all like sand and they're kind of irregular. That's how I like it. I hate drywall. I cannot stand the stuff. And anytime I see a building with drywall on it and I tap on the wall and it has that drywall sound, I just like, okay. They call this luxury. This is poverty. I would rather live in a double wide than live in a luxury home with drywall. I mean, seriously. Living in a double wide on 40 acres is better than living in the most luxurious condo with drywall. Unacceptable. Now, if I had my way, as you know, we would not be using any of these cheap materials. All the walls in the house would be made out of concrete block, clay brick, or lath and plaster. And I'm not talking about wood lath. I'm talking about metal lath and plaster. That's the way I would do it. I don't like wood. I think that wood is the worst building material in the world. Building a house out of wood is the stupidest thing you can do. So what is wood good for? It's good for bowling lanes. It's good for decoration. I love wood paneling. So instead of wasting wood and growing these trees in these large plantations for building materials, I would just have hardwoods, maybe some hard pines. And then that wood would be cut. You can make doors out of it, bookcases, furniture. You can make trim for your car. I like the wood to be visible. If the wood is invisible, if it's part of the structure, I don't like it. So that's what I would do. I would get rid of all structural wood. No more. It would be steel and concrete. Well, I take that back because you could build a deck out of wood because it's temporary. A barn. Wood is great for a barn. If you're just going to be using it for animals, wood is also great for small buildings. And you know what wood is really nice for? If you want to build like a pergola or patio, so you have your nice concrete home, and then attached to that home you have this large patio. So you'll build it out of heavy beams, tongue and groove boards. In other words, when I build with anything with wood, you have to see the wood. If the wood is covered, it's a no-no. So that's what I would do. And you could use wood, trim, and whatever. So it's up to you. But again, for me, the wood is an add-on. The wood is not the actual thing. Now, I'll give you an example. I have my house that came with those cheap hollow core doors, but when I did a remodel, there was an older home, and they changed all the interior doors. Here's one of the ones I got. You can see right here. On the corner of the door, you can see that it's been split off because when we were tearing it out, it got damaged. Oh. There goes the phone again. I'm not going to answer it. Screw it. Just amazing. I think people know that I'm home on Saturday. They keep calling me. Yes, I know who you are. I will call you back. Okay. Let's see. The way falls on potato diet. Here getting 600,000 students to come and help with our technology. Okay. I'm underweight, struggling to gain weight. I can't even eat fruit. Oh my goodness. Oh well. I gotta take a break. I may have to cut the live stream short. I am losing it with all these phone calls. I can't deal with this anymore. All right, we'll get it. I think I look pretty good for a 6-year-old man. Yes, you do. All my friends who are my age are either dead, sickly, obese, and or bald and gray, which you are not. As far as I can see, and from what I've learned, you eat as much good, nutritious food as you can, and your body weight will be where your body wants to be, yes. I just ran into a dude I went to high school with our 50-year anniversary, and his gut sticks out like you wouldn't believe. My 40-year anniversary is this year, and usually they would have something at the school. They want to have it at a restaurant. No one's told me about it, and you know what? I could care less. When I get some time, which, when am I ever going to get time? I'm going to go down to the high school, and I'm going to ask them, are we going to have a school meeting? And I'm going to see if I can see who's doing the reunion. I'm going to tell them, if you don't meet at the school, you will never see me again. I wish I could see some of them, but it'd probably be horrifying because the last time I saw any of these people was 1986. I can only imagine the changes they've made. I know how much I've changed since high school. I have pictures of it, and I haven't changed that much. But the rest of the class, who knows? I have this idea in my head that being too lean might be a bad idea. I have that same thing as well. Okay. Let's see. Here you go. Most of my friends have that big belly too, the ones that are still alive. Several have already died. Yeah, the longer you live, the less friends you have because a lot of them die. I've lost a lot of friends of mine that have been in their late 60s and early 70s in the last few years. that will happen. That is a problem. Okay. I've lost several friends who were in their 50s. I got 2 more years and I'll be out of my 50s. Sad women are either overweight or suffering issues like losing eyesight because of SAD. And that's the other thing. My eyesight's still pretty good. And yes, that's where Milton made his debut. I love potatoes, remember, but it's expensive here. Plantains are like potato if I use a not ripe one. Yeah, and plantains are better than potatoes. Potatoes are absolutely disgusting. At least plantains are somewhat edible. Most of these folks would not have died had they cut out the sugar, carbs, processed food, seed oils. Yes, that is very true. Okay. So true. Peter, what do people feel if they are diabetic? You get the burp if you eat fiber. Yes. I like Cobb and Aircrete. That works too. And there's also, you can take hemp and mix it with lime and make building materials out of that. But yes, both physicians are obese, diabetic with high blood pressure, and Ozempic. Lots of meds, they won't listen to me. I'm the crazy, irresponsible brother. Yeah. Isn't that funny how that works? You're the crazy one that's healthy, who's skinny, healthy, no meds. And no meds in your 60s is rare in this world. You can have diabetic level high blood sugar and not be aware of it. That's true. It's hard for me to listen to a physician that looks like they're ready to explode. Why do you think I stopped going to the doctor in 1996? You got a fat, ugly guy who can barely breathe. I mean, seriously, being old doesn't mean you have to be fat, and it doesn't mean you have to be ugly, because you could have gray hair and wrinkles and still be very good looking. It all depends on your physique. If you have a giant gut and you're all saggy, that didn't come from genetics. That came from you destroying your body. Period. That's the way it works. Plaster and lath is work. Drywall is easy. Yeah, but drywall's a pain and you got all that dusty sanding crap. Just slap on the plaster. It's a lot simpler. People did it for thousands of years. Why did they stop doing it? Drywall's garbage. There's 2 building techniques I really hate. Number 1 is drywall, and number 2, lay-in ceiling panels. I hate those things more than anything. If I ever had a building that had those stupid lay-in ceiling panels, that'd be the first thing that gets recycled. Those things are garbage, they're ugly, and they're crap, and they all sag. If you don't know what I mean, look at any office building from the 70s until now. Now they're so cheap they don't even put that in. They just leave everything exposed. But those lay-in panels are ugly. With the recessed lights, ugly. I can't stand that crap. I don't know why they even use that garbage. That's what they put in the school over here. They took out the good stuff and put in that cheap crap. And it ain't that cheap anymore, but still crap. The most healthy people do. Can I be skinny and diabetic too? Yes, you can. Lean and muscular. That's what people should be. And again, there are several people on the internet. There's a guy that I'm going to show you his YouTube channel that I watch that lives out in the desert. He's kind of off-grid, and he's a month younger than me. And you should see what he looks like. Looks pretty good. I don't think he's carnivore, but I don't think he's ever shared his diet. But he does look pretty good. So there's a lot of people out there, and there's a few that have, a lot of people have gone standard, but some people, they just, whatever. I stopped listening to doctors when I found the good doctors. Dr. Barry Chafee Baker, Bickman, Ovadia, Hampton, yeah. I think not expert type 1 diabetics lose weight, yep. You don't have to be overweight to be diabetic. My wife was normal weight and diabetic. Diabetes is an insulin issue. Diabetes is a symptom of insulin resistance. What does she feel if her sugar is high? One of my rich friends built a house I helped him do, and we used 3/4 inch plywood everywhere on the walls. Hopefully it was treated. Get her blood sugar checked. And good morning from her to Papa Carnivore. Why do I have a message? Okay, that's a YouTube message. Have you ever tried wearing a CGM? They were fantastic. No prescription needed. That's right. Did I catch up with the comments? Yes, I did. All right. All right. Now, let me go back over here. Now, on my YouTube channel, I have several channels I watch. I want to show you one of them. I see that Anthony Chafee put out a video. this guy right here. Okay. Heart attack symptoms.
Those people that die.
Okay. Now, this is the guy I'm talking about. Where in the world? Let me go over here. Okay. This channel. Got more subscribers than me, but this guy is about my age. He is 58. He'll be 57. He'll be 58 in a couple of weeks. And he's into the off-grid living, prepping, and so on. I don't know what he eats for a diet, but if you look at him, he looks really good. He's one of the best looking people I've seen on YouTube. And my friend is calling me. Hold on. Hello? Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Rubber thing? No, the metal, the metal holders that hold the pipe. Right, but I'm saying the little clamps, the little things that you screw to the wall to hold the conduit against the wall. 3/4 and 1/2 inch. The 1 inch is already there. I'm not going to change that. And then maybe an outdoor box for the dryer, because that old box is just 2 indoor boxes that are stacked and it's all rusted out. It seemed to be, but I couldn't get it off because the cover was like, the bolts were rusted. So I don't know if you could change that. Yeah. And then the little lid, the cover and an outlet, if you want to get that too, that's fine. I'm going to replace that because that thing is it's a rig. It's separate. It's got another one. It's separate from that. Yeah, it was on another circuit. It was on a 20 amp breaker. No, I disconnected the whole thing. It's disconnected. So you got to plug it in the house. Okay. I mean, if you want to change it, we'll change it. Might as well. It's up to you. I mean, it's got one, but we can reposition it. I mean, we could change that. And if you're going to do that, yeah. Okay. You could get another 1/2 inch conduit. You could get another 1/2 inch conduit. We'll just change the whole conduit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to change the boxes. Yeah, should be 1 inch. That should be a 1 inch pipe. I thought it was. Okay. Okay. Yeah, sometimes I feel like I'm on the nonstop train here. But anyway, this guy has a YouTube channel, and he's doing his off-grid. He's got solar, and he's got this like Airbnb, and it's over there in the desert. And but yeah, he's about a month younger than me. And if you look at him, you can see that he's in pretty good shape. Now, obviously, he's been working out for years versus someone like me who never works out. So I'm an example of someone who's 58, who's relatively healthy and does not exercise. But this is an example of someone who does exercise. And you can see that he's been doing all kinds of construction and stuff like that. And if you look at his channel, it's actually pretty interesting, but okay, my friend's calling me back. Okay. Hello. Oh, well, that's what's going into, yeah, that the piece that you have, whatever size that is. I thought it was an inch. Yeah. Well, maybe you'll have to put an adapter. I don't know if they make one that small. You could always thread an adapter into it. Remember, this is a temporary thing until we redo it. Okay. I think it's 1 inch. That's what I remember. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. You got to forgive me. We're trying to get this wrapped up, and I've got him over there at the electrical supply to get the parts we need. But anyway, well, here's an example of someone who's about the same age as me, and you can see he's in pretty good shape. What he eats, I don't know, but there are people in their 50s that are doing relatively well. And then even was talking a little bit about this longevity science or whatever. Oh, there we go. And you can see over there, 5 longevity secrets, live to 100 plus. Now again, we don't know how long we're going to live. I don't think I'm going to live past 94. That's what my grandfather lived to. I don't want to live too long. I don't want to be to the point where I can't do anything. It's not how long you live. It's how well you live. That's the main thing. So anyway, but this is an example of someone who I would think is in pretty good shape, pretty healthy, and pretty good looking too. There's no reason why when you get older you have to be ugly and sad looking. That is a result of lifestyle. That is not a result purely of genetics. Now, genetics do influence it. Some people do have more gifts than others. But as the longer you live, basically what happens to you is a lot of what you do. We had 2 inches of rain last night. Around here, that'd be called a flood. I actually hated high school. Never went much, always during hunting and trapping season. I learned everything from the School of Hard Knocks. And that's it. School, in my opinion, is a waste of time. I wasted pretty much every hour in school. I learned almost nothing. Ryan Johnson eats 200 grams of carbs every day, he said. That's a mistake right there. Right there with you, Michael. Yep. I had to swallow air for my burp earlier. I don't burp or fart. See? I can't remember the last time that I had to burp either. I think everyone hates school, Michael Prager. But that's because school is stupid. And I believe that compulsory school is communist. Forcing kids to go to school is a mistake. Now, do I think public schools should be eliminated? No. But what I do think is that it should be optional. Most people today send their kids to school simply because they don't have time to take care of them. They're so busy serving the central bankers, paying debts that they got them into. A lot of those debts actually came from going to school. The fact that they charge the obscene amount of money they do to go to college is sick. It really is. But anyway, that is my opinion for what it's worth. And I taught at the college. I think the college is a good thing, and I do believe that everyone should have the opportunity to go to college. However, I think that debt to go to school is stupid, and it should be eliminated. What they should do is what they used to have. No more government-backed college debt. If you want to go into debt to go to college, go to the bank. And let's see if the bankers are going to loan you money to take classes for a job that you may never get. So if that's the case, what do the colleges have to do? They have to lower their prices. And you have scholarships because most universities, they want top students. If you think about it, if I ran a university, wouldn't I want to have the best students possible? I want my students to learn, and I want them to graduate and go into the world of work and spread the reputation of our institution. So I would offer scholarships. There are many companies out there that need good workers. So what do? They donate to the colleges. So in the past, if you wanted to go to college, you had a choice. You could have rich parents. You could work. I knew several people that went through college working construction in the summer, and they had plenty of money to go to college because tuition was low. They had no choice but to keep tuition down because the money wasn't there. But as soon as the government started financing school, tuition shot up faster than the fake rate of inflation by many multiples. Okay. All right, let's see. Nuclear reactor, yes. I'd like to have a home nuclear reactor. Sheldon Cooper. Brian Johnson probably eats more like 300 to 500 grams of carbs a day. Based on what I've seen his meals look like, it's all carbs. Yes, I've never watched what he eats, but a couple times I saw him, it looked like he was eating slop, some kind of really cheap duck food. I don't know. Rick reminds me of Sheldon Cooper from The Big Bang Theory. I've been told that many times. In fact, one of my best customers is a friend of mine. He says that I remind him of Sheldon. I've heard that many times, which I think is interesting. Another reason for carnivore, yes. Brian Johnson may be rich, but he's an idiot. And I have to admit, most of the really rich people are just idiots. Think about Elon Musk. People love this guy. The guy looks very strange. I know he has some kind of mental issue, but the promises he makes, the things he does, don't make sense. I think a lot of times people become rich because they know the right people, not because they're very smart. And people that control money, they want to have people that are not that smart that are rich because then they're easy to manipulate. So I think a lot of the really rich people are just crazy. And that's the system. A central banker debt finance system brings this out. This is the problem. College textbook runs several $100s. And the funny thing is with technology, there's no reason for textbooks to even exist. You see, if you have an institution, you're doing research. A lot of the people who write these textbooks are college professors. The college is doing the research. Why do they need textbooks? They don't. The only reason they exist is because it's more money for the people they know. That's it. Anytime that you mandate something like a college degree, you're opening up the door to corruption. University only provided for a few professions, which basket weaving is not. And I even disagree with that. For example, lawyer. I don't think that you should have a lawyer. Everyone should understand the law. Everyone should be qualified to participate. Okay, here goes my friend again. Hello. Hello. Yeah. I don't remember. I should have looked. I didn't even, I don't know. If it's a newer dryer, it's 4. If it's an older one, it's 3. Yeah, it's probably a 4. It probably is. You can always change the cord on the dryer if you have to. Yeah. Yeah, that way it'll be standard. Put the 4 in there. If it's a 3, just get a junk dryer, take the cord off of it. I'm sure you got cords all over the place, and we'll put the other cord on it. I mean, just for the 3/4 and the 1/2 inch that we're using, I mean, if you want to get a few. We have a couple. Yeah, we have 3 1/2 inch ones now. And if you need more, get more if you need it. You'll always use them. Electric, I keep that stuff in stock because you never run out of a need for it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, a couple, whatever, would change that conduit. It slips on the pipe, or you screw it into the box. That's all. You screw one end in the box, you screw the other on the pipe. One end goes on the pipe, one end screws in the box. Yeah, that's all. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Well, the box, I think it's a square box, 2x4. Just get the square 2x4, but it's a square box, isn't it? It's like square with the plug in the middle. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well, hopefully he'll get the right supplies. But anyway, we have some of Brian's videos over here. I don't know if he shows himself lately, but it seems to be okay. There he is. Seems to be in relatively good shape. Not bad for someone in his 40s, but obviously he's not healthy. So that is a problem, isn't it? Anyway, shows pictures of other people and videos and whatever else. I don't know. But again, it's kind of hard to determine how much of this is real and how much is just made up. Anyway, and you can see his goofy looking house with the tinted windows. I don't think he goes outside much because he doesn't want to look old. But anyway, so Peter was saying that he looks kind of like a vegan. I don't think he looks bad, but he probably could look better. Totally agree. Time to make the bacon. Got to start my chores. We'll be listening. Well, that's awesome. My brother has ulcer in stomach valves by H. pylori. Doctor said he was an antibiotic. I caught him eating cake. You know, the H. pylori was a discovery that they cause ulcers, but you know, one thing that people don't actually talk about and is that, and Dr. Kilt says this a lot, you know that fat takes out bacteria. My dad used to deal with dandruff, which was often caused by fungus. And because I use lard or tallow in my hair, I never got dandruff. And I do believe that those of us that eat an animal fat diet, our stomach, that animal fat and acid mixed together, I think a lot of that animal fat, it tends to knock out bacteria. Bacteria can't really live in that. It's just a theory. But when you're eating all that plant matter, it's all grinding away at your stomach and it's got all those plant toxins. That just sounds like a disaster. It's like soap. You know how you make soap? You take animal fat and you put an alkali in it. Plants contain a lot of alkalis. There's actually certain plants that you can make soap from. So if you're going to be making soap in your stomach, it seems like it's going to damage the layer that protects it from the acid. I don't understand how people can think that eating plants are healthy. Just my opinion. And Johnson looks like he just came off of one of them Star Wars or other crap shows, they have white as a ghost. Yeah. Well, that's it. Obviously, too much sun exposure. Well, sun exposure damages your skin. There's no question about that. If you go in the sun, it damages your skin. But here's the problem. If you never go in the sun, your skin can't produce any vitamin D. And that's a bad thing too. So it's like anything else. If you're going to lay around in the sun all day or work unprotected in the sun for hours at a time, your skin never has a chance to recover. And once you damage yourself and you get scar tissue, it never recovers. But if you go in the sun for a period of time, then take a break. You may go a couple days without going in the sun. Then you go back in the sun. You do it in such a way, like I do. I may work a lot outside and then I may work inside. I think that's the key. I don't look too bad for a 58-year-old. I don't have a lot of wrinkles. I mean, if you look at my skin up close, you can see that I am over 50. I'm close to 60, but I don't look bad for someone that age. And I don't use a filter. I have a raw webcam and bad lighting. If I had good lighting and a little touch up here and there, I think I'd look a lot younger. But that's okay. Bacteria love sugar. Exactly. Bacteria do not love fat. I'm speaking of those professions as they are now. You want to be a physician, a lawyer, chemist, and be employed, you're required to go to university. And see, that's the thing. That's a mandate now. And be employed. Now, if you're an amateur chemist like me, you don't worry about that. But anyway, not that the system is ideal, and that is true. But it's like anything else. There's a reason why these systems exist. But once the corruption comes in, they co-opt it and they use it as a profit center. So rather than eliminating the systems, the trick would be to figure out ways to root out the corruption. Once the corruption is removed, the system will work much better. Every parasite that attaches itself to a host degrades the system. So you have to figure out how to get rid of the parasites. And they're easy to find. Just look for the expensive homes, the yachts, and all the other things that they show off. And 9 times out of 10, you'll find a parasite. Now, there's a few rich people that are not parasites, but the vast majority are. So you start there. You know what they say, follow the money. Almost all the carnivores and keto folks met at meetups look healthy, fit, and with excellent color in their faces and skin. Big difference between us and the vegans. Yes, and you've met a few of us, including this quack. Every time I speak with someone, I will use AI now. I tell him to eat sugar-free yogurt while on antibiotics. Since he likes sweet taste, it will restore proper bacteria. Well, okay. I even tell people RDA protein, 30 grams per meal. And they were shocked how much 30-gram protein is. Yes, gut bacteria. Oh, well. I give them homemade kefir. I am also eating kefir right now. Just drank a liter again. Yes. And great. I think Brian Johnson is creepy. I agree with that. Did he mention why vegan diet? Probably because it's the most profitable one to sell. Base layer, tan done. Well, there you go. And see, Jonathan, he has to make his skin darker to be in the field that he's in. You wouldn't want to be as white as the rest of Rick. The part you don't see is very white. The part you do see is not. My grandmother had a grease cup on the stovetop. Did not grow any bad bacteria. See? Bacteria, they need water. Can't grow in fat. Usually the vegan's reason for being vegan is moral about animals, which is not a good reason if you're risking your life, and that is true. And by the way, as I tell my vegan friends, there's no such thing as animals not being harmed. The fact that we exist harms some animals, but it helps others. Think about all the cats and dogs that have a better life because we exist. And if humans did not exist, do you know how much cattle would exist on the earth? That much. There's no such thing as a wild cow. There are feral cattle, but the cow cannot exist in the wild because they are simply unable to protect themselves from predators. They would have to revert back to what they started with. And you know, like, for example, bison or buffalo, you know what they look like. They look different than cattle. We are the reason why domestic chickens and ducks exist. Wild chickens look like parking lot chicken. They're small, they're agile. It's like Muscovy ducks. We even have a domesticated version of them. The wild version is smaller and in fear. Animals are generally in fear of humans, except for domesticated ones, which have learned to live with us. And yes, bacteria don't thrive in fats because bacteria need water to live, and fat and water doesn't mix. Now, animal fat in its raw form does grow bacteria because animal fat contains water. Think about it. Every one of those fat cells you find in the animal, there's proteins in there, there's collagen in there, and there's water in there. So if you take raw animal fat and throw it in the yard, it will start to turn brown, it will rot, and it will be consumed by bacteria, but the fat that's in it leaks out on the ground, and it takes a while for it to break down. The fat has to emulsify, mix with organic matter before it can break down. But if you render the fat and you separate it out, that fat will last for a very long time. I've had rendered tallow last in the refrigerator for 5 years, and it was still usable. So once the water and the connective tissue is removed, the bacteria can't grow. They can't live on fats, which is a good thing. That's how food was preserved. That's how pemmican was preserved. All right, now let me go back over here and let me see how my channel is doing. I am curious. Let's go over here to Live at 8 with Rick. There we are. Let's see how many people we have. We still have 56 people watching right now. That's actually pretty impressive. And you can see we get all kinds of videos coming in. I get all kinds of recommendations, old ones and new ones. You can see, okay, wind turbine, solar. Let's see, data tricks, okay. All right. And there's John make a video of an hour ago. So he had popped in earlier. I guess he took the time to make a video. I know Mitch is working on a video. That'll be out in a bit. Beating the factory. Okay, so we got all kinds of, let's see. Diesel parts in America. Okay. Get all kinds of recommendations. Okay. I thought the protein that holds water. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, let's take a look over here on my channel. Let's see if we got any comments. Okay, and I make comments on other channels. I notice also, if you're not aware of Brian, let me see if I can go back here. Brian has been making videos, and let's see. I guess he's going to be taking a break from the carnivore videos. He's been making videos for like 3 years. He interviewed me a while back. I think it was in 2023, maybe 2022. I'm not sure, but one of the earlier interviews that I did. Let's double check here. Videos. Let's go to the oldest. And you can see he started making videos 3 years ago. And then let's see who was the first interview. Okay. I'll find it somewhere. There it is. Okay. Carnivore for 40 years. So 3 years ago, you can see, and there I am, still looking about the same. I don't change much. But yeah, so I guess you're going to take a break from some of the videos, which is okay. Everybody has their ups and downs. And I'm going to try to eventually, when I ever get the time, which I don't know when that's going to be, I want to make a video about some of the different trends of the carnivore diet. Because the carnivore YouTube space has gone through several trends. And let's see. Oh my goodness. I get more and more videos. Will homes be affordable again? Will the new housing bill lower housing costs? No, It will not. It'll make it more expensive because the central bankers run the government. The central bankers want more debt, which means more expensive homes. It's the central bankers. Solar plant decaying. They can't turn it off. Yeah, you can't turn the sun off. Last iron lung user. We had a friend that their mother was in one of those years ago. That was back when they had polio outbreak. Modern medicine can be a really good thing when it does a good job, but sometimes modern medicine gets taken advantage of in the wrong way. And by the way, tomorrow, if you're not aware, our friend John, he has his carnivore Sunday school at 1 Eastern Standard Time. So anyway, all kinds of videos, stream measures. Okay. All right. And I see Carrie's posted another video. Am I a carnivore hypocrite? All right, so I see popcorn and M&M's. So they're probably saying, well, you sell popcorn and candy bars in your movie theater. Yeah, I can already predict what the video is going to be. But again, Carrie is always trying to get attention to the carnivore diet. And some people may take that the wrong way. Oh, the guy's always selling something or whatever. But that's not the case. I think what he's just trying to do is find ways of getting people interested. And I think Carrie Mann is one of the most influential people in the carnivore space because if you think about it, I mean, first of all, look at how many subscribers the guy's got. He's got double the subscribers or more for when he started the carnivore diet. And in the beginning, he was out there kind of looking to meet up with different carnivores. And of course, now it's gone in its own direction. But he's still spreading the message. Now, I've had people complain about Carrie. Oh, he does this and that and whatever. Okay. I guess, is he driving a Tesla? Well, that's kind of interesting. It must be a rental. He's had the same car for a while. But he went out there and he met up with people and he organized them and said, hey, we're going to make a movie about carnivore diet. Now there he is promoting, I guess, a get-together, meat stock convention. Wait, I thought that already happened. This is a new video. Oh, well. Meat stock convention. This is basically for rich people. If you have a lot of money, you can do that. Now, I'm not going to play his video on my channel. You can always look. Yeah, see, there's a movie theater with the popcorn and the candy bars. Now, do I think he's a hypocrite for selling that stuff? No. He's a businessman. People want to buy that stuff. It's like me. I've had people say, well, Rick, aren't you a hypocrite because you grow fruits and vegetables in your yard and you give them away? You give away mangoes and bananas, and you give away tomatoes. You give away cabbage. You give away all these veggies and fruits, stuff that you generally don't eat. How can you do that? Well, because I believe that everybody has the right to choose what they want to eat. I think that people should choose what they eat, where they live, who they want to mate with. I don't want to interfere with any of those things. And I do not believe that fruits and vegetables are evil. Now, would I sell candy bars? No, but I don't own a movie theater or a bowling alley. But I would have no problem selling mangoes or avocados or whatever. I don't like avocados, but I don't have any problem growing them and giving them away. It's just one of those things. So anyway, I'll get it if I get a chance, which probably won't be for several days. I'll check out Carrie's video. But usually at this time on Saturday, he puts out sort of a, video to try to attract attention. He's already got 364 views, and it's been only, 37 minutes out there? So he's doing pretty well. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and, let me see here. Let me go back over here. I'm going to like your video. And, okay, you're a hypocrite Popcorn, candy, soda, not carnivore. Okay, fine. Meat stock 2027. Use code Healing Humanity. Out of curiosity, how much does it cost to go to this silly thing? Let's see. All right. Convention in Nashville, Tennessee. Get your ticket. All right. Here we go. Here we go. The meatiest event of 2027. I see a bunch of pictures of people. There's Baker. A couple people I know. Chafee. All right. All right. What do we got here? Choose your ticket. Let's see. VIP ticket sale. 290. What? No. What is this? $795? Seriously? Are you smoking crack? 786. Why is this overlapped? What in the world is this? Oh, come on, people. You really think we're that stupid? VIP with $795 for this? Oh, no. Well, I've got another thing I can trash because this is BS. What kind of... Oh, unbelievable. No. Rick, don't get yourself in trouble. You're getting angry. I hate scams. Is this a scam? I don't know. Doesn't look good to me. Oh, well. Anyway, guess who's not going to be going to Meat Stock 2027? Hopefully, by 2028, there's going to be Quack Stock. And Quack Stock is going to be 100% free. Because Quack Stock, we're going to get people to bring the meats. I will supply the grill. I will supply the fuel. And I will supply the location. And we'll also have an iguana and duck catching contest. So Quack Stock, there will be no VIP section because everyone is a VIP at Quack Stock or IguanaCon or whatever you want to call it. So if you come to my get-together, it's going to be like a carnivore KIP get-together. You get to eat for free. You get to associate for free. Nobody is going to be discriminated against, and everyone is welcome, including Carrie, if you would like to come when Quack Stock is available. And just like Carrie, I also have six-wheel ATVs, so you can have a six-wheel ATV race or whatever you want to do. We'll figure something out. We'll have an iguana cook-off. That'll be a lot of fun. All right, let me go back to my comments. I'm going to see if maybe I can shorten today's live stream because I got a bunch of stuff to do. I got phone calls to answer. It's just totally nuts. But let me get back to these comments because we got a lot of great people that come here. You think it's a bad idea to sleep on a full stomach? No, I've done it many times, but it depends on the person. Some people, it doesn't work for them. I didn't know that info, Rick. Well, I'm glad that I can share some good information. I thought it's protein that holds water. Well, there is water in animal fat. Animal fat is composed of cells which contain water, but then they have the fat stored in it. When you render it out, that makes it, eliminates that and it'll last longer. I have also used 5-year-old tallow, and it was in my pantry unrefrigerated, just like the tallow is stable. Now, if you live in Florida, it would turn rancid, but if you live in a normal climate where it's not hot all the time and humid, because humidity will sit on top of the tallow and damage it. Which organ of human has a lot of fat? Well, it depends. Subcutaneous fat, your skin, healthy skin has to have a lot of fat. Otherwise, you look old and wrinkled, but also your liver may have some fat. Anything's possible. And speaking of carnivore celebrities, happy Saturday, Mr. Rick. Hello, chat. What is happening, everyone? Well, just doing our usual chat. And that's Tim. If you don't know who Tim is, Odd Fitness, Tim Brennan, 560. Not really carnivore, but whole foods and health-oriented. And again, this is the kind of people that we want in our community. Not everybody has to be carnivore. You do not. If you've been healthy most of your life, and there are several influencers out there, they're in their 40s, 50s, even 60s, they eat the carbohydrates, but they've been healthy their whole life. They've been fit, and they're fine. And if it works for you, keep doing it. But if for some reason it stops working, the carnivore diet is there if you need it. And you can do it at any time. If you're a person that's addicted to processed foods full of carbohydrates. Probably not a good idea. If you're one of those people that has access to a grocery store with year-round fruits and you get addicted to fruits, you might not want to eat those mangoes. That could be a problem. Protein can turn into carbs. Protein doesn't turn into carbohydrates, but your body can produce carbohydrates itself when it needs them from anything. I don't think it can produce it from fat, but it can produce it from stored fat. You do remind me of Sheldon. I love that show, Intelligence Have a Good Heart. I'm getting a lot of that, CS Stargazer. I do get that, and I'm not offended by it. I think it's kind of nice. Carrie always do the clickbait. That's why he's so successful on YouTube, and I'm not. At this rate, I'm totally being priced out of any romantic relationship. Government and central bankers, I want to cause you, let me see. Okay, come on, computer, cooperate with me. I want to cause you immense pain for an eternity for what you did to all us hardworking folks. Well, that's because the women don't appreciate what really matters. Would you rather have an unhealthy but wealthy man or someone like Tim over there who doesn't have a lot of money, but he's got the good looks and he's smart and he knows how to relax? I would think that there would be some gal out there that would appreciate that, but I think women today, they're not given the information they need. I think that money becomes the most important thing, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know what women want, and that's one of the reasons I don't have a girlfriend. I've never been married, and I've never had a relationship because I have a hard enough time trying to survive in a world controlled by central bankers. If we didn't live in a world controlled by central bankers, we would have so much wealth spread among the population. We wouldn't even have to work. Most of us would only have to work a few hours a week if we didn't have parasitic central bankers and government bureaucrats constantly stealing from us. Look at all the money we pay for taxes. Look at all the money that costs us in regulations. Look at all the things we can't do because Big Brother is watching you. Look at all the money they spend on wars and surveillance. That money could be spent on better things. But again, the entire world is run by parasitic bankers. So they're going to keep us fighting each other. They're going to keep us sick. They're going to do whatever they can to keep us in debt. They're going to make us go to college so that we have the privilege of working. That's what they do. We support them. They need us. But since we're stupid, we let them do whatever they want. And we fall for it constantly. Nobody ever criticizes central bankers. When people protest, they don't go to the Federal Reserve. They go to one of the government buildings, the puppet show. If you're going to protest the puppets, don't go to the puppet show. Go to the puppeteer and cut the strings. If you cut the strings, the puppet show ends. How do you cut the strings? You get rid of the central banks. No central bank, no problem. Will people do that? Absolutely not. Great show today, Rick, but I got to go get busy with the video challenge. Bye. Well, retired Rick, I will see you on Wednesday on your retired. Rick is no hippo. No, Rick is skinny. Rick is a very lean, very thin guy that works hard. I don't have the fantastic body that some people do, but I don't need it, and I don't want it. I don't care. Sure, maybe if I used the right hormones and did the right exercises, I could look good. But for what? I can do everything I need to do, and I have no reason to change that. It's not like you're giving away highly processed food. They are all naturally grown whole foods. And not only that, I show people how to grow their own fruits and vegetables. I tell them, if you're going to eat that stuff, I'm not going to tell you not to, but learn how it's grown. And if you can do that, that's fine. But sometimes the fruits and vegetables don't work for you long term. And in that case, you need to go to the meat. But it's your choice. It's pricey, yes. Too much. Not including food and hotel. That's the other thing with those stupid conferences. How people go there, I don't know. I can't afford that crap. I mean, seriously, why would you even waste your time? You can go online for free and you can meet people. I would never. You and me both, I would never. Now, if I offered quack stock, I bet you'd take the time and come for quack stock. You can come over here, have some fun. That would be You meet a lot of interesting people. At this point, all of Rick's fruits they almost grow themselves. Rick, you have every right. Yes, I do. I agree with that. Free ducks. Free ducks. The cost of attending my meetups are just bring immediate dish for Pollock. See, that's it. If you were in my area, I would be a local visitor. The problem is we're all so spread apart. But if I ever get to the rural place I want to be, hopefully I'll have a few other people around me, and anyone in the area is welcome to come. Hopefully there is a crash stock so we can start over. The central bankers are going to fight the crash as long as they can. So we need to figure out ways to speed it up. The crash is what we need. But you know what they're afraid of? This is the problem. Let's say we had a crash. Let's say the central bankers couldn't print their way out of an economic disaster. What does that mean? That means that the parasite class is cut off. All those wealthy parasites that you see now go broke instantly because they're all leveraged with debt. If the system collapsed, they would be wiped out. And what would happen? Well, a lot of us that are poor but resourceful, we would be the ones that stepped in. Some of the rich people are also resourceful. Maybe 10% of the wealthy people are also very resourceful, and they would take over. What would happen is when the parasite class died out, the productive class would swoop in. That includes wealthy, middle class, and poor people. A lot more poor people would be on the ladder to getting up to a higher economic status. When the parasite class is cut off from the central bank money printing system, they will leave room for everybody else. And there would be a drastic change. And what would happen is the younger generation would get a tremendous boost. Their ability to do things would increase. You would start seeing new relationships, new families. There would be a lot more children. It would happen naturally. People would have to learn how to farm again. Big farming corporations would be gone. A lot of the financial institutions would go insolvent. A lot of people would lose their retirement. But even if they lost their retirement, the money would be worth more. Social Security would still be around, and families would come together. You would see multi-generational families pulling together. I think it'd be the best thing that could happen. But the central bankers are going to fight the crash, even if they have to start World War III, because that's what they'll do. They do not want to lose their gravy train. Why is my phone? No. Okay. I would not pay the amount of money to go meet anyone. There seems to be a lot of idolization going on with the carnivores lately. Yes, Terry girl, that's right. That's why we have people like me that do not believe in any of that crap. Beno 9364. Hi, Rick. How's it going? It's going good. Even better now that you're here. I have to tell you, I listen to you every night, play your old lives. Your voice comforts me and helps me go to sleep. Well, CC Stargazer, I'm glad that I can help you out. People are suffering insomnia. Maybe I can help them. It's like going to church. It's a great way to fall asleep. I noticed a lack of fat under my skin. Makes your hands, fingers more sensitive to hot water. Well, that's it. That could be from it. Rick's voice is very soothing and peaceful. Yes. Well, thank you. And Tim likes the there. I met mine at the time clock at work. Well, there you go. I was up late with Barb last night. She, Hoopy, and his friend. It was funny. Okay. These demons want us dead. They fed us duck food and makes expensive meat. Yes, they are middlemen. Meat is not expensive to raise. The problem is the ranchers and farmers are not getting paid that much more money. The middlemen are getting all the money because they turn everything into commodities. Everything, including duck food, good food, whatever. It's all sold on a futures exchange. The parasites finance everything. The parasites are the problem. This is the thing. When you understand who the parasites are, you live your life like I do to try to go around them. The parasites are the problem. Period. Rick, the public is so ignorant because a long time ago, go back to Weather Underground, they knew, okay, well, that's good. They knew they had to infect the institutions and brainwash them early, control history via textbooks. Rick should be a guest of honor. No, none of these paid to play groups are ever going to invite me for anything. I have never been invited to any of those groups. Now, where have I been invited to? I was invited to attend Dr. Kiltz's get-together. I was invited by Mitch to attend his get-together. So Dr. Kiltz and Mitch are not the pay-to-play people because they know I can't afford it, so they help me out. And also, Russ and I think some other people in the carnivore community, they made it possible for me to attend last year the Hack Your Health. I did not speak at Hack Your Health, but I was there. So again, these are the people that I trust. These so-called celebrities, to me, they're nothing. I was carnivore decades before they ever came onto the scene, and I kept it to myself. To this day, I have not used the carnivore diet as a way to make money. I'm not going to do that. You know what the Bible says? You receive free, you give free. That's what I believe. I have no problem selling products and services. I sell my time and my expertise to help people to do things. I don't have a problem with that. If you offer health coaching, that's fine. If you offer a product or service, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I don't even have a problem with charging for a meetup. If you're giving people food, you got to charge them for it, unless the food is donated. I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is excessive, just predatory pricing. That's what I have a problem with. But again, it's a market. They have maybe one that's affordable, and then they say, hey, we can make some money. Now they're doing more and more and more. Okay? It'll burn out. Eventually, people won't come anymore, and it'll disappear. That's just the way it is. So you got to cash in while you can, right? That guy Huey was smart and funny, but was late, tired this morning. Okay. When I go to meetups, I carry my air fryer and meat. That's it. It was Nuggy. You can. Okay, I'm not sure who that is, but must be some popular culture. There is an interesting video by Forgotten History about the Titanic tragedy. There may be, yeah, I've heard about that story. Central banking and Wall Street interests. Would not surprise me. It doesn't. The central bankers are parasites. They work behind the scenes. They start all the wars. They have the debt. I don't understand those meetups. It's like creating a cult. See? We have someone new in the community that can see it. This meetup thing, in my opinion, is being turned into a money-making operation. Now, again, am I saying all meetups are bad? No. You got a local group of people, you meet at your local Brazilian steakhouse, like a Mitch meetup. You know how much admission Mitch charges for his meetup? That much. He says you pay for your meal, you can come here. There's no barrier, all right? And that again, if you do that, that's great. You could get together at the park, you could get together at somebody's house, whatever. But to make an event like that, I think, is a negative thing on the carnivore community, in my opinion. I personally like to have food in my belly when I go to bed. And now it's time to go outside. I have a lot of yard work. Great weekend, everyone. Well, thank you. And I hope you're able to do that. I hope that you have a good lawnmower. Hopefully you have some souped-up rider so you don't have to spend all day putting around on a lawn tractor that goes 2 miles an hour. I feel that way, too. It's gotten a tad weird. Yep. That Titanic story is probably very... Yeah, it is. It is very shady. And again, if you watch Tim's channel, he talks a lot about the inflation. So he's aware of that. I went to Hack Your Health in Tampa last year. It's local to me, but it's still expensive. I'm probably not going this year. Yep. The price went up more. It's over $220 with their fake discount code. I don't think I'm going either. I don't have any tickets. I don't know. Rick has a night voice. Well, there you go. I like that. If it wasn't for the sniffling, it'd be perfect. I'm not a fan of the corporate carnivore trend. Not individual influencers, but the trend. All grassroots movements are captured by the machine. So I worry. Yes, I worry about that too. But look, I worry there's a frog boiling thing going on. Look at me. I am not in the capture. You can't capture Rick. Rick is free range. I'm like a parking lot chicken, hard to catch. Rick's voice is calming. I love the mic. Well, the Shure 55S is an old standard. You might have seen it with Elvis. You might have seen it with an old radio announcer. And it's unique. And everything around here is unique, which I like. Frog boiling is a perfect analogy. And by the way, frogs are delicious. So some of the people need to do some speaking skills classes, free online on YouTube. That is very true. Some of these people annoy me with their constant word whiskers. What I really hate is when people say, well, you know, like, they repeat this over and over and over again. I get very frustrated with that. That's fine. Rick's channel is the only one with 0 commercials because I am permanently demonetized from YouTube. Rick is the OG. That's right, Tim. I've been around. I started on YouTube almost 19 years ago in July. Wait a minute. When is July 12th? July 12th is tomorrow. So as of tomorrow, I will have been on YouTube for 19 years. That's a long time. Send me the coffee link. I will buy you one. You know, Sandy asked me to send it. I keep forgetting. My problem is that I don't really, okay. I like your meetup idea. Bring your own meat. Yes. Let me go online. Let me show you how you can find my Buy Me the Coffee link. So what we'll do, we'll go over here to Buy Me a Coffee. Buy Me a Coffee. Okay. And there it is. There's a picture of me when I was 30 years old. See that guy? He was 30 years old back then. I'm going to copy the link, and I am going to paste it in here. So let me go back over here. What am I doing? All right. Rick, what are you doing? All right, let me go to the chat. Oh, my goodness. What is this? There we are. Perfect. There we go. All right. So anyway, yeah, tomorrow. Okay. Where did my other window go? That's not Milton's fault. That was me. I can't blame Milton for that one. Oh, there it is. What is that noise? I guess they're washing cars across the street. Okay, let me go over here. All right. 19 years. Yes. Rick does the capturing always. That's correct. You have a duck right there. You have an iguana right there. That's right. Polish meetups cost around $450 for 2 days. It's crazy, but at least food is covered in it. Okay. I hate the the ums and the fact that they go silent and don't say anything. Yet they want to know why they aren't asked to speak at things. That is true. And I don't do any of that, so. And yet, they don't ask me. Look like George Clooney. Really? That's interesting. You have a sparkle in your eyes in the young picture. Well, that's because the sun was shining on me from the window. And let's see. Now my eyes are usually half closed. And the blue picnic shirt is fabulous. I used to have that shirt, and if I still had it, it would still fit. Mike, this was from that same series of shirts. This shirt is almost 30 years old. And I only wear it now for the occasional bike ride and for these lives. But that was the only one I could find from that time period. All my clothes wear out. I don't outgrow them. Okay. Now, let's see who else is online. Now, right now, I believe our friend Lance, Carnivore, has a live right now. Let me just click this over here. Okay. Yeah. So he has his live right now. And I guess he's doing his intro or something like that. I guess a lot of people do these graphical intros, and there he is. Looking good today. That's awesome. It's hard to believe that this used to be a fat man. Looks pretty lean now. So that's great. And we like seeing that. You're a year older than me, and you're getting your life back. Good deal, man. Good deal. Oh, and while I'm here, let me make sure that I leave a comment. So I'm going to say, there we go. We'll do that, and we'll leave you a like because you only got, how many subscribers do you have? 400 and something? I can't see from over here, but let's see. Yeah, your subscriber count is climbing. So, and we have even some of our people going over there to support the live stream. So good for you. I'm not trying to dominate the live streams. What I want to do is just encourage everyone to put themselves out there. And he's got some comments on how good he was with Dan this morning. That's great. You know, I notice a lot of the commercial live streams, they get offended if you try to promote your own channel. I guess they don't want the competition. But on my channel, I could care less. And I see my friend is calling me. I will pause to answer. Hello? Yeah. Oh, okay. All right, yeah, get that. No problem. I'm going to start cooking my lunch. And then, you know, when you're done doing all the errands, we'll go over there and we'll knock that out. It's going to be quicker, I think. Well, if you're not there, you're my assistant. You have to be there. That's the thing. You know. I do. I have a big flat screwdriver. Okay, I'm figuring I have a really big one if I can find it, but I have like a, you know, decent sized one. Right. Right. Oh boy. Hopefully you'll get it back in. Don't let his stuff go bad. Okay, well, that's good. Otherwise it'll be duck food. What time does the kilowatts close? At 12? Okay, yeah. Wow, so 3:30, that's crazy. Yeah, that's true. That's good to know. I thought so, yeah. That's awfully early, but oh well. No big deal. I think that would be it. I mean, you saw what was there. It should be pretty basic. Okay. It can always be added on. That's correct. Right. Well, starting with the new panel, that's the trick. And then later on, we can change the feed. We can upgrade that thing step by step. Oh, he'll contact you when he needs you. Right. Okay. Yep. Well, hopefully by the time we get yours done, they can see the right way, you know, to do it. It's inexpensive and it'll look good. Exactly. We'll get it done. Mm-hmm. Well, having the right materials, that's it. Exactly. Mm-hmm. That's right. Well, it's not a matter of being smart. It's just a matter of using what you got the right way, and then things happen. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. No, I think that's it. I think you're good. All right. Bye. Okay. I haven't shared the, what do you call it? I don't share the phone conversations because it's sort of like between friends, but sometimes I'll share a phone conversation. Generally, I keep the friends or customers unless I let them know they're going to go online, and then they'll be fine with it. All right, so let's see how our chat is going. It looks like I've caught up. So the chat has calmed down a bit, and let me see what we have in terms of viewers. I see that over there on Lance's channel, he's got about 9 people, so that's good. So he's doing pretty well. And what I might do, I might cut this off at 11:30, and you can move to his channel if you want to hang out and continue. Because I got a bunch of calls I got to call back, and I got to talk to, I got to make my lunch. We're going to go to my friend's place. We're going to try to finish the air conditioning and a couple of other things. So it's going to be a really busy day. Let's put it that way. So I got some pork in there I'm going to cook up. And I got some chicken, but I don't have a lot of beef, but that's okay. All right, so let's see. What is going on here? Why can't I get my channel? Something weird going on here. I don't know what's going on. Let me try this again. So we'll go over here to YouTube. I'll just open another window. Okay. Where is my... There we go. Okay. I see that Tim has posted a video. There we go. Got sunglasses on. He's looking cool today. And let me see where my live went. View your channel. There we go. Okay. Let's see. All right. Okay, so that is up and running. I have 49 people watching right now. Let me go back to the comments. We have from B. Ben O, any new cooking videos planned for the future? Not that I know of, but if I do find something delicious to catch and cook, I will do it. I haven't had time to do any really good videos. I've been way too busy, but that's okay. And Terry Girl says, my husband just got up. Got to start my duties to God and my country. LOL. Thanks, Rick, for a nice morning. Bye, Quackers. Have a great weekend. Don't sit too much. Well, as soon as I finish the live stream, I won't be sitting. And I really haven't left here at all. I'm one of the few people that seems to be able to do long live streams without drinking water and without getting tired. But that's okay. All right. So let me show you a couple other things now. Again, I did the segment with Kurt, and I made another intro. Let me just show you what that looks like, because the sound didn't work the last time I do it. Let's see if the sound works this time. Okay, I think that one actually worked that time, but let me check on my other live stream and see if it actually came up. There we go. Why do I have no sound? Oh, stupid thing is always coming up here. There we go. All right, there on Lance's channel, he's got. Okay. Go. Why do I have no sound? This stupid thing is tired. Okay. This is interesting. Oh well, I would assume that it worked. Okay, let me go back to the comments and let's start wrapping this show up, which is kind of interesting. And I don't see the comments. Okay, where'd you go? I know you're here. There we are. All right. Okay. Would you post a link for Lance, please? Yes, I will be happy to do that. Let me go over here. What I'm going to do is go to the other, and let me go ahead and find. There it is. So I'm going to copy this link, and I'm going to move over here to my chat. I'm going to paste it. So we'll just go over here, and we will click it right there. Bam. There is the link for Lance's chat. So anyone that is looking for a little more YouTube action can go over there and check it out. Listen on in. I'll probably turn that on once I stop my live stream and I start cooking. I'm going to cut up that pork shoulder. I'm going to get that boiling in the pot. Takes about 10-15 minutes, and I'll have a delicious lunch. Very simple. I don't do the spices because I don't care about them. When you've been carnivore as long as I have, it's no longer an issue. So anyway, we have a question. What is the best way to prepare eggs? And the comment disappeared. Okay, let me get this. What is the best way to prepare eggs? There we go. Well, that's a matter of personal taste. Some people like their eggs sunny side up. I like my eggs scrambled or poured into a flat. So I scramble the egg, pour it into the pan, and cook it flat. I don't know what they would call that. It's not a crepe, but it's, it's just like an omelet kind of thing. So I guess that would be an omelet, which is fine. And I always cook my eggs on beef tallow or lard. If you use a cast iron pan and you put plenty of fat in it, it will never stick. I've never had an egg stick to any pan. You can move it around, no problem. How are you doing, Rick? I just got back from my clothes and just closed on my 6th townhouse. Well, Uncle Charlie, I'm doing pretty good. Getting ready to wrap up my live stream. I have a tenant all lined up. They're moving in next week. Well, that's good. I used to do a lot of rental rehabilitations. The way you like, okay? It's North Dakota Carnivore. That is correct. And I gave you the link over there where you can go to, and it's coming up on my channel, so that does work. Okay. My favorite way to fix eggs is egg meal, like oatmeal. Melt 1 pound butter for each, 1 tablespoon butter for each egg. Add a touch of cinnamon and scramble in eggs. Cook until thick, constantly stirring. Top with a dusting of stevia. Interesting. Cast iron over easy. There you go. Very simple and very straightforward. And Tim, you're using cast iron, so you're in the cast iron club. If anyone wants to see how I cook eggs, you can check my videos that I've done in my kitchen. Although I do use poop gas, which not everybody uses. And if you know the story, the reason I started making poop gas is because the gas company charged me $30 just to have the service and like $3 or $4 for the gas. So I thought to myself, why am I paying $400 to make some executives have a salary when I could just make my own gas? Shoot, I started off with a propane tank. I took my stove and basically I put another stove next to it with a pipe going outside, and I ran propane. And when I figured out how to make poop gas, it was bye-bye natural gas. I will never need natural gas for the rest of my life, because as long as I got poop and I got plants, I got gas. Why would I eat the plants and produce the gas in my own body when I could put the plants in a tank, produce the gas, and cook with the gas? When you produce gas in your own body, what good is it? All it does is gas your house, stinks up the place. What's the point? It's better to use that gas to cook your food. And that's what I do. I love it. It's Amy's, you ever saw the strawberry poop gas intro? You've probably seen this. Let me show you.
strawberry poop gas. I was cooking in the backyard, feeling like a pro. Tossed in some grass clipping magic, let that compost glow. Dog poop, cat poop, nature stew, bubble, bubble.
If you haven't seen that, I usually played it at the intro before Dan had his videos at the beginning. And I can play it on the way out as well. But that's kind of the whole thing. And Amy actually made an AI video of it, which I thought was pretty funny. And I don't know if when I go to YouTube, if I can look it up. Maybe I could do a quick YouTube search. Okay, we have YouTube. Let me go over here to YouTube and go back where I was. I hear Milton clawing the floor, so he must be getting hungry. I'm going to type in strawberry poop gas. There it is. So you got that same song, and then Amy made this sort of AI. It's only got 134 views, but there I am in the backyard trying to make poop gas. Now, obviously, it doesn't turn pink like that. Oh, Milton is here. Did you come to say goodbye? And you got the cats and the dogs and the poop. It's pretty funny. How long ago? This was a year ago, wasn't it? 7 months ago. Okay. All right. Uh-oh. Barry Simon sent me an email as well, so this ought to be interesting. But there I am with the strawberry poop gas. You even have poop-shaped clouds coming up. I thought that was really funny. So that was quite a riot right there. Let me see what Barry Simon sent me. We can play this on the way out. Let's see. We'll just click this, and there we go. Okay. What is this? Okay, I wanted to... Okay. Good. It looks like I'll be on a live on Tuesday as well. Rotary cell phone. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Rotary cell phone. Okay. Let's see.
Introducing the new rotary cell phone. It combines...
All right. Let me move this to the other display. There we go. Let me switch scenes. And let's see what we got here. I guess this is a new Rick product.
Introducing the new rotary cell phone. It combines vintage style with modern features. And now, watch it sharpen. The components realign into a sleeker, sharper design. Get yours today and experience the future.
Okay. The new rotary cell phone. You know what? I might start a trend. Instead of strapping a rotary phone, and I've done this before, they used to have a dock and talk. And what I did, I actually took my old cell phone and I hooked a rotary phone to it. Hey, so is somebody saying goodbye? Come here. What's the matter, Cuddles? Oh, no. Watch the pause. No. Milton. Milton, stop that. Milton, no. Milton. Oh, what's the pause? Ow, Milton. Oh, Milton. Okay. There's my sweet kitty. What's the matter, Milton? You're a good kitty. I like you a lot. Oh, you're the cutest cat I've ever had. Love Milton. My first cat was a black cat, and he was a personal pet, just like Milton, that would follow me everywhere. I used to walk him with a leash. Thought he was a dog. He's so cute. And Milton's extra nice today. He hasn't tried to bite me once. Come on. Let's say goodbye to everyone. There's a Milton. Look at that face. Look at that gorgeous Milton. Look at those eyes. Love my little Milton. Look at that. You're a sweetheart. You are a nice kitty, Milton. I really like you. You gonna climb up on the computer? I got the keyboard off to the side now, so you can't knock me offline. And there's the Milton tail. Milton is so funny. You want to play with the camera? There goes Milton. Up. Well, he ran to the kitchen. I think he wants me to feed him. So that's a good thing. So anyway, let me go back to the comments and let's wrap up this live stream while the day is still starting. So let's see. I am working on putting our methane digester together. Well, if you need advice on how to get it working, you can always contact me. You have my email. It's not hard to do. And I'll tell you one thing, it's a game changer. You'll never have to worry about cooking over a fire. You have that gas producing. You can turn on the stove whenever you want it. You light it up, and off you go. It's a great way to cook, and it's free. Why work against nature when you can work nature? You know what they say? It's power in tune with nature. That's what it is. Genius. Well, it's old technology, but I appreciate that. There it is, strawberry poop gas. And the reason it got that name, I get fruits from the dumpster at Aldi and Fresco y Mas. And a lot of times in strawberry season, if you had a package of strawberries and there was one rotten strawberry, they throw the whole package out. And for my purposes, rotten is better. So I would gather up all the nasty rotten fruits and vegetables. I'd throw them in the tank along with a generous dose of cat and dog poop and whatever other animal poop I can find. It also includes some human poop in there that came from my own bathroom. It all goes into the tank. It is closed up and it's allowed to ferment. So what I normally do, I mix all that crap in there and I take one of those long, like mixers that you use for mixing mortar with a big drill on it, and I go and grind it up inside of there. And then I have to wash that nasty thing off with the hose, and then the water, it's like filled up halfway. I screw the lid on the top of it. I hook up the inner tube, or I hook up the air mattress, and I just let it ferment. And after a couple of weeks, that air mattress is blown up nice and big. I have a piece of plywood sitting on it. I put a couple of sandbags on there. I got pressure. I open the valve. I go to my kitchen. I open the burner and I light that sucker. Bam. And since I produce a lot of gas, I produce so much gas, I can run a pilot light in the stove. So I don't have to light the stove every day. The little flame burns in the stove. That tells me the gas is being produced. At the end of the month, when it's time to switch tanks, I will open the other, I have one fermenting for a couple weeks. I will connect it to the filter, and then little by little, I'll just transfer from one to the other. When the gas starts to become yellow, I shut down the old tank, run it off the new one. Then what I have to do is a part that I hate, which is a clean out. And all that material, you have to take the tank, you got to turn it over. I unscrew the valve on the bottom, I stick a hose in there, I wash all the leftover material out, which is like a black dirt. And that goes on the banana plants in the backyard. But if you think the ones in the front yard are big, you ought to see the banana. There's one banana plant, you can barely, the thing's probably 18 inches across. It's almost 35 feet tall. And that is kind of useless because that's one of those seeded bananas. When it does produce fruit, it's mostly seeds. And one day I'm going to show you what a real banana looks like. But anyway, strawberry poop gas saves me over $400 a year, and it's great for cooking. And when the power goes out, it always works. I've never been without gas. All I need is plant material and animal poop, and we're good to go. Great stuff. Love it. All right, let's see. Nature's Stew. Yes. Oh, my. Definitely Rick style. Yes, it is. And Amy knew that it was sort of a 50s style. I saw a video about cats saying they're reporting what humans are doing here on Earth. Alien cats. It might be. I think Milton follows me around way too much. He must have a camera built in. Upstairs, done. Time for coffee. Well, thanks for letting us know. And thanks for calling in. That was great. I guess I'm about done listening. Yes. Poop life. Well, there you go. Well, anyway, it's 11:33. Let me just drop back in, see how many people we have. There's me with the video. Let me go ahead and close that. And let's close this. And Let's close this. Okay. And there I am. We have still 41 subscribers watching right now. So I'm choosing what I'm going to play you out with. Should I play you with the strawberry poop gas? Should I play you with something else? Maybe I'll do the strawberry poop gas. All right. So let's finish up the comments and let's get out of here because we have a life to live and we can't sit around all day in front of the computer. All right. And Rough Carnivore. Hi, Rick. Just checking in. Do you experience any fatigue or cramping often? And if yes, how are you managing electrolytes? Well, I can tell you that right now. I experience fatigue when I have worked all day and I haven't eaten at my usual time. As long as I eat regularly, I never experience fatigue. As for cramps, no. I don't think I've ever had a cramp experience. So, and I use no electrolytes. I eat meat, I drink water, I eat yogurt, I eat some cheese, and that's it. I've never had a problem. I wonder if it's the fact that I eat cheese and yogurt that keeps me from having those issues. Whatever it is, no problem. And thanks for the happy Saturday. It's going to be a great Saturday. It's going to be a productive one. So anyway, let me see. All right. So we have my chat, my Rick. Okay, why is this not coming up in my chat? This is very strange. Okay, come on. This thing takes a while to update, I think. Huh. But I'm looking. Let me switch over here to the other view. I see that we have comments from Tim right there. So, bye chat, bye Rick. And let me see. Where's the other one? All right, let me go back. Maybe, I think the OBS has a little hiccup here. I just can't. Why is this not updating? I mean, seriously. All right, let me try one more time. So we'll go ahead and, oh, come on. Well, for some reason, there we go. So bye chat, bye Rick, bye Tim. I'll be checking out your videos as they come up. Thank you, Rick. Have a wonderful day, everyone. I appreciate that. And again, I hope you got something out of the show. And I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to play you out with strawberry poop gas. That seems like a popular one. Now, where'd my poop gas go? All right. So anyway, thanks for being here. And again, oh, looks like Thomas popped in. Thomas says hi. By the way, Thomas, do you have a live today? I think you do. Hold on. Oh, come on. It's computer. Don't give me a hard time. Come on. No. No. There we go. Okay. So Thomas did say hi. Great show. Bye all. Again, I believe Thomas usually has a live at 4. So you might want to check him out. Before we go, I'm going to go ahead and let me see. Where is Thomas? And I hear, oh, he's up on high on my list. Okay, you're near the top. All right, let me go ahead and let me switch over to this one. There we go. All right, there is Target Prime Rib, Thomas. And we're going to get, you haven't reached 1,000 subscribers yet, but I'm sure once you get your friend Bella in there, you'll reach 1,000. You're on Carrie Mann's channel. I figured you'd get more. All right, what is this? Oh my goodness. What is there? Okay. Yeah. So you will be on in 4 hours at 4 p.m. So if you happen to be here, I'm not going to be able to watch your show because I'm going to be working. But if anyone can, check them out. And I guess it is your chance to join in. If you're not watching Thomas's channel, what's wrong with you? You need to watch his channel. All right. So I'm going to go ahead. You can go to North Dakota Carnivore if you like. He's still going. He's got about 20 minutes more to go. And I'm going to go ahead and end my live stream. Let's see. All right. And I can't get the music to play, but that's okay. Maybe what I'll do is just do this little ending here. And let me take one more on the chat. And I think we're done. Oh, you did look like George Clooney in that picture, attractive. Well, I used to look pretty good. I don't look as good now, but hey, I'm still alive. I still have a full head of hair. I can do everything that I did when I was 30. I have no aches and pains. And you know what? Getting old isn't the worst thing that can happen. There is something worse than getting old. That's being dead. What would you rather be? Old and active or dead? I think I'd rather be old and active. I can still live my life. Once I kick the bucket, then that's the person that's going to determine what happens to me next. So I want to do things that make this person look down on me in a good way and not look down on me like, well, we got rid of another parasite. All right. So thanks for being here. Let's hit you with a little outro, and I will see you again next week. And I think I'm going to be with Liz on Tuesday, so keep an eye out for me. Check my channel. You never know where Rick might pop up. Oh, and by the way, tomorrow at 10, I believe Mitch will be doing what used to be the Dr. Kilt's get-together. So if I am here, which I probably will be, you'll see me there. And you can join in that too if you like. So thanks again. I appreciate your being here. I appreciate your spending your time on my channel. Have a great day.